Let's see this question. So in this question, basically the radiations when the transition in the hydrogen atom falls from the third level to the second level. So these radiations are made to fall on the gold surface. Okay. So first let's check what is the energy of the third level in the hydrogen. So if you remember, the energy of nth orbit is given by minus 13.6 into z square by n square. All right, just a second, n square. Yeah. So for the hydrogen, if we want to find E3, so we can put z as 1 and n will be 3. So this is in electron volts. So this will come out to be nearly 1.51 electron volts. Similarly, we can find the value of E2, that will be minus 13.6, Z will be again 1 and N will be 2. So squaring it will make it 4. So this becomes minus 3.4 electron volt, right? 4 is at 12, yes, minus 3.4 electron volt. So if the electron jumps from the third to the second shell, so the energy of the photons released will be E3 minus E2. Okay, photons will be released and the energy of the photon will be given by E3 minus E2. So you can say that E3 is minus 1.51 minus of minus 3.4. So this value, if you calculate, is nearly 1.89 electron volt. Okay, this is the energy of the released photon. Okay, now these photons are made to fall on the gold surface. So imagine that this is the gold surface. Okay, so these photons, they are falling over here. So basically again the electrons will be emitted because of the photoelectric effect. Okay, and we know that the energy of the incoming photon, so here the photon that was incoming, it had the energy of 1.89 electron volt. Okay, so using the Einstein's photoelectric equation, we can write 1.89, which is the energy of the incoming photon. Okay, that will be equals to work function plus Ke max. Here Ke max represents the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted electron. Okay, now what is happening is these electrons are made to revolve in a circular motion in the magnetic field, and it was observed that the largest radius, look, largest radius is 7 millimeter. All right, value of the magnetic field is this. So you know that the radius of the circular motion in the magnetic field is given by mv by qb. All right, r equals to mv by qb, radius of the circular motion. All right, now using this data we can understand that when the radius will be maximum, when the kinetic energy will be maximum, because see, this mv is the linear momentum, and linear momentum ko you can write under root 2 into mass of the electron into kinetic energy of the electron, correct? Hence radius has a direct you can say relation with the kinetic energy. So the electrons which has maximum kinetic energy will revolve in the highest possible radius. Okay, now using this you can see qbr. Okay, if I take qb on the LHS, so qbr upon root 2m, okay, that is equals to root k. So if we square it, it will become q square b square r square upon 2m. That is the kinetic energy, and as I said, the maximum kinetic energy means maximum radius. So basically we can, if we have to find the k max, so we have to put the radius max, which is 7 millimeter. Q is the charge on the electron, which is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. All right, minus 19. This is the we can say the charge on the electron, and we have to square it also basically. Okay, and b is the magnetic field. So magnetic field is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4. Let me write slightly below because here this is some less space. Yeah, so basically here the kinetic energy maximum will be q square, means 1.6 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into 1 to the 10 to the power minus 19. All right, b square means 25 into 10 to the power minus 8. Okay, radius is 7 millimeters, so squaring it, basically you have to convert this into meter first. That will be 7 into 7 into 10 to the power minus 6. All right, divided by 2 into mass of the electron, which has been given 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. Now understand that this answer you will get in joules. Here k max we will get in joules, but I want to find k max in the electron volt because this value is in electron volt. So here you will put the k max in the electron volt. Okay, so for this whole expression, if you solve, you will get the answer in joules. All right, So if I want to find this answer in the electron volt, so I'll have to divide this by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Now this value will come in the electron volt. Okay. So now see, the idea is that you can do this calculation. It's not very difficult calculation. You can just cancel this out. If you check out the powers of 10 also, so here you can see this is 10 to the power minus 19, and minus 19 and minus 8 will become minus 27. Minus 27 and minus 6 will become minus 33. So if I cancel all the 10 to the power minus 33, this will go in the up. So 10 to the power minus 2 will remain in the numerator. So 1.6 into 25 into 7 to 7 we can write is 49, okay, into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 2 into 9.1. All right. So basically this will cancel out. This will become 0.8. 25 into 0.8 will be how much? 25 8 is 200. So that will become 20. So 20 into 49 into 10 to the power minus 2. So effectively you can see this becomes 4.9 into 2. That means how much? I think 9.8 divided by 9.1. So basically 98 by 91. So 7 into 13 and 7 into 14, which means 14 by 13 electron volt, which is nearly, you can say how much? We can say 1.10. So 0 and 100 will be nearly 1.08 electron volt approximately. So this is the value of the Kmax. And now if I put the value of Kmax here, so 1.89 minus Kmax is 1.08, that will be is equals to 5. The value of 5 will come out to be 0.81 electron volt nearly. So you can see that best possible option is option D. I hope you would have understood. Now let's see the next question. Uh, in this question, basically there's a rubber ball which is released from a height of 5 meters above the floor, and it keeps on bouncing, and every time it rebounds up to a height of 81 by 100, okay, of the previous height. So we have to find the average speed. So basically if we try to understand the situation, let us say this is the ground, and the first jump, or the first bounce rather, happens from a height h naught is equals to 5. All right. So ball will fall, and it will hit the ground, and it will rebound up to a height h1. Okay, and then it will again fall. Okay, then it will again rebound to a height h2. All right, sorry, and then again it will rebound to a height h3, and this process will keep on repeating till infinity. Okay, so basically what happens is that here let's call this second height as h1. Okay, this second height as h1, and the third height as h2, and next height as h3, like that. So basically h1 is equals to h naught into 81 by 100. All right, h2 will be is equals to 81 by 100 into h1, which means it will become 81 by 100 square into h naught. Okay, similarly if you understand the pattern, so h3 can be written as 81 by 100 whole cube into h naught. Now let us, so this pattern will continue. Now let us try to see what is the total distance traveled by the the ball. So basically we can say the total distance traveled by the ball is this distance, which is h naught, plus h1 going up, then h1 coming down, then h2 going up, then h2 coming down, then h3 going up, h3 coming down, like that. So if I calculate the total distance, so that will be h naught plus 2h1, because h1 will be going up and h1 is also coming down. So twice of h1 plus twice of h2 plus twice of h3, like this. All right. So basically we can say that if I put the value of h1, so that is 81 by 100 h naught. Okay, 81 by 100 h naught. Okay, then h2 will be 81 by 100 square h naught. All right, all right. Then h3 will be 81 by 100 cube h naught. So this process will go on. Okay, so if we see, basically we can take 2 into h naught into 81 by 100 outside. Okay, 2 is already outside. 81 h naught by 100 can be taken outside. Here we will get 1, then here we will get 81 by 100, then here you will get 81 by 100 square, and this is the infinite gp that we will get. All right, so h naught plus 2 h naught. Now h naught was 5, so you can put the value also here. So if I put the value here, so h naught is 5. Okay, and this 2 h naught will become 10. So 10 and 10 will get cancelled. 81 by 10 will be 8.1, and this is an infinite gp, so that will be a upon 1 minus r. Their common ratio is 81 by 100. So if we look at the calculations, basically just let me slightly below. So 5 plus 8.1, okay, and this will become how much? 100 minus 81, 19 by 100, that means 100 by 19. So effectively this becomes 5 plus 810 upon 19. So 19 5s are 95, so this is 905 upon 90. This is the total distance. Now let's check the total time. So again, if we understand here, let us say in the first fall the time is t naught, like in the fall of h naught the time is t naught. Now h naught can be written as half g t naught square, right? So we must understand that h naught is proportional to time square. Okay, h naught is proportional to time square. Okay, that means h1 will be, so suppose this time is t1. Okay, this upward time is t1. Okay, so falling back time is also t1. This time is t2, so coming down time will also be t2. Okay, so basically we can say that since height, okay, height through which the ball is falling, that is proportional to time square, so we can say that, you know, h1 will be proportional to t1 square, h2 will be proportional to t2 square. All right, so basically if I write the value of h1 here, so that will be half into g into t1 square, right? And what is the value of h1? H1 was h naught into, in fact, wait, yeah, so let me do the calculation here. So h1 is what? H1 is 81 by 100 h naught, that will be is equals to half into g into t1 square. All right, so if we understand from here, if I divide, basically look at this equation 1 and look at this equation 2. So if I divide these two things, so h naught and h naught will get cancelled, and I will get 81 by I'm doing equation 1 by equation 2. So basically, or I'm doing equation 2 by equation 1. Sorry, let me do equation 2 by equation 1. Okay, 2 divided by 1. So we will get 81 by 100. That will be is equals to half g will also get cancelled. That will be t1 square upon t naught square, which implies that t1 by t naught will be 9 by 10, which also implies that t1 will be 9 by 10 t naught. Okay, similarly, so what do we understand? That this time t1 will be 9 by 10 times previous time, which was t naught. Hence same pattern will follow, so t2 will become 9 by 10 of t1, which means it will become 9 by 10 square of t naught. Similarly t3, if we understand, will become 9 by 10 cube of t naught. So what is the total time? How will we calculate the total time? So total time will be t naught, which is the first fall time, plus 2 t1, because t1 will need to go up, and t1 again coming down, so twice of t1 plus twice of t2 plus twice of t3. This pattern will go till infinity. Okay, now t1, what is the value of t1 here? So t1 is 9 by 10 t naught. Okay, and t2 is 9 by 10 square t naught, and this will go up till infinity. Okay, so again we can take 9 by 10 t naught outside, so this will become 1, this will become 9 by 10, again next will become 9 by 10 square, and this will go until infinity. Now let's first calculate the value of t naught also, so that we can calculate very easily from this equation. Okay, look, if I put the value of h naught as 5, so g by 2 will also become 5, and that into t naught square, which means t naught will be 1. Okay, so if I put t naught as 1 here, so this becomes how much? 9 2s are 18 by 10, so that is 1.8, and this is an infinite gp, so a upon 1 minus r. So how much does this become? 1.8 upon 1 by 10. 1 minus 9 by 10 is 1 by 10, and 10 will go in the numerator, so this will become how much? 18 plus 1, 19 seconds. So this is the total time of motion. And how will we find the average speed? So average speed will be total distance 905 upon 19 into total time, which is also 90. So if we do the math here, it will roughly come out to be 2.50 approximately. Okay, so this will be our answer. I hope you have understood. Now let us see the next question. Here what is happening, if 1 mole of the non-linear polyatomic gas having two vibrational modes, and beta is the ratio of molar specific heats, then we have to find the value of beta. Now basically if you remember, the standard symbol for Cp by Cv is gamma, but here they are calling that as beta. So the relation between degrees of freedom and the Cp by Cv ratio, which is beta here, is beta is equals to 1 plus 2 by f. Here f is the number of degrees of freedom. Now for a non-linear polyatomic gas, we have 3 translational degree of freedom, 3 rotational degree of freedom, and question is saying that it has 2 vibrational modes, which means 4 vibrational degrees of freedom, because for one vibrational mode you have 2 vibrational degrees of freedom, which is why for 2 vibrational modes, which is we will have 4 vibrational degrees of freedom. So this will become total 10, and hence this will become 1.2. Let us see the next question. Here we have to find the value of the output. So suppose here A is going like this, and from below B is coming here. So this is an AND gate. So here the output will be A dot B. Okay, and if you look at this, here A is going in this OR gate and B is also going in this OR gate. So here we will get A plus B. All right. Now this is a NOT gate. So here the output will become A dot B complement. And now this A plus B and this AB complement is going in the AND gate again. So the value of Y will be A dot B multiplied by A plus B, because AND gate simply multiplies the inputs. Now using the De Morgan's theorem, this A dot B complement can be written as A complement plus B complement, okay, dot of A plus B. And if you open this, this will become A bar into A plus A bar into B plus B bar into A plus BB bar. Now A bar will always be 0, because like it's an identity. Similarly BB bar will also be 0. So eventually the value of the expression becomes, so B bar will be 0. So eventually the value of the expression becomes AB bar plus A bar B, which is nothing but XOR gate. So in the given options, NOR is incorrect, NAND is incorrect, AND is incorrect. So it's actually XOR gate. So basically none of the above is the correct answer. Now in this question, an object is located 2 km beneath the surface of the water. So suppose this is the surface of the water. So some object is present here, and this distance is 2000 meters. All right. So because of the extra pressure in the inside the water, the object gets compressed by this much volume. Like fractional change in the volume has been given, delta V by V. Okay, delta V by V is 0.0136. We have to find the ratio of hydraulic stress to hydraulic strain. That means bulk modulus. Bulk modulus is the ratio of hydraulic stress to hydraulic strain, and the mathematical value of bulk modulus is magnitude of change in pressure upon fractional change in the volume. All right. So from here we can see if you are going 2000 meters below the surface of the water, so pressure will increase how much? Pressure will increase by h rho g, correct? So how much we have gone down? We have gone down by 2000 meters. Density of the water is 1000 kg per meter cube, and gravity is 9.8. All right, and delta V by V is given to us. So all you need is to put this value in this formula. Delta P is 2000 multiplied by 1000 multiplied by 9.8. Okay, divided by delta V by V. Delta V by V is directly given as 0.0136. Okay, so you can check out option D will be the correct answer. Here by the power of 10 itself, you can, if you do the rough calculation, you will understand that option D is going to be correct. Okay, very easy question. Then in this question, there is a sound wave whose frequency is 239 hertz and is moving along the positive x-axis. Okay, each point of the wave moves to and fro through a distance of 6 centimeters. So for example, suppose the sound wave is traveling in the positive x direction. So basically we can say that the air particle, or whichever medium particle, let me call it. So medium particle is moving through a like total distance of 6 centimeters. So for example, suppose this is the left extreme, okay, and this is the right extreme. So minus A to plus A, and this is the equilibrium position, let us say. Okay, so from minus A to plus A, this distance has been given as 6 centimeter. All right, that means amplitude will become 3 centimeter, because amplitude is from equilibrium till till extreme. So we can say that amplitude value will become 3 centimeter, because amplitude is measured from equilibrium up till any extreme. All right. So that means A will be 3 centimeter. All right. So now if you see here, the amplitude is 3 centimeter. This is in meter. So which is why we are getting 0.03. So if you convert this in the meter, you will get 0.03. So basically this option B becomes wrong, because here's the amplitude is 0.06. Here also amplitude is 0.06. So this is also wrong. In option A and D, now look, the coefficient of time is nothing but omega, right? So here if you look, here the omega is how much? Here the omega is 200, okay, and here the omega is 1500, correct? Look at the frequency of the wave. Frequency is 239, okay. So we know that omega is 2 into pi into f. That means 2 into 3.14 into 239, okay. So nearly this value will be 1500 only, because you can check it out. Clearly it is more than 200. So option A cannot be correct, because this is 200 and here it is 1500. So option D is the correct answer for this question. All right. Then let us see this question here. We have to match A versus like these options. So here the phase difference between current and voltage in a purely AC circuit, purely resistive. So purely resistive circuit means only resistor is present, and in that case it's a standard result. That phase difference is 0. So A will match with second. Okay. Phase difference between current and voltage in a pure inductor, in a pure inductive circuit, it is 90 degree, and voltage leads current. Okay, or we can say current lags voltage. So statement 3 matches perfectly. In a pure capacitive circuit, current leads voltage by a phase of pi by 2. So here option 1 is right, statement 1. And in a general LCR circuit, the phase difference can be tan phi is equals to xc minus xl by r. So this will be the phase difference, tan phi is equals to xc minus xl by r. So very easy question, standard results. So that means which is the correct answer? A matches with second, B matches with third, A matches with second, B matches with third, C matches with first, and D matches with fourth. So option D will be the correct answer for this question. All right. Let us see the next question. Just a second, guys. Yeah. So in this question, basically, what is happening is that there's a massless cord which is bound around this pulley, and this pulley is of radius r, small r, and this block descends by height h. So we have to find the angular square of the omega of this pulley. Now there are several ways to do this question. One is writing the force torque equation, but the easier way is to just conserve the energy, because there is no like non-conservative force work which is happening, which is why we can say that the loss in the potential energy will become the incremental kinetic energy of the block plus pulley. So if you look over here, the block descends by height h. So the loss in the potential energy of the block is mgh. And by the time block reaches over here, let us say its speed has become v, and pulley in the meanwhile starts rotating with the angular speed omega. All right. So clearly you can say that the speed of the block will be equals to r omega using the constraint, because the rate at which this point will come down is r omega, and that is directly equals to speed of the block. Okay. So the loss in the potential energy will be gain in the kinetic energy of the block plus gain in the kinetic energy of the pulley. So gain in the kinetic energy of the pulley is half I omega square. Now from here we can write V as omega by r. Sorry, V as r omega. So that will become r square omega square plus I by 2 omega square, that is equals to mgh. So if you take 2 on the LHS, this becomes 2 mgh divided by mr square plus I. That will be the value of omega square. So I think 2 mgh divided by I plus mr square. So option D, I think option D matches perfectly. Okay. Let us see this question here. Here I have to find the peak current and the resonant frequency in this circuit. Now if you look here, the peak voltage is 30. So peak voltage is 30, and the peak current. So how will we find peak current? So peak current I naught will be equals to V naught upon Z, where Z is nothing but impedance of the circuit. Okay. Now if we see Z is nothing but under root of R square plus XC minus XL whole square, right? How will we find the value of XC? So XC is nothing but 1 upon omega C, which is capacitive reactance. Omega is nothing but 100 over here. Okay, so we have to put the value of omega as 100. Capacitance is 100 microfarad. So that means this will become 10 to the power minus 4, which will become 100 ohms. Similarly, what is the value of XL? XL we know is omega L. Omega is 100 and L is how much? L is basically 100 millihertz. Okay, so 100 millihertz means 0.1 millihertz. Sorry, my bad. Millihenry, not hertz. 100 millihenry. So 0.1 henries. That means XL will become 10. Okay, and R is given as 120. So R is 120. So if we put every value in the formula of impedance, then we get R is 120 square. Okay, 120 square plus XC minus XL becomes 90 square. So this becomes how much? This becomes 150. That is the value of Z. 120 square plus 90 square is 150. Okay, that is the value of Z. So this is the impedance, and now the value of I naught becomes V naught by Z. V naught is 30 upon 150, which is nothing but 0.2 amperes. That means option A and D becomes wrong. Now we have to also find the value of the resonant frequency. So we know that F resonant is 1 upon 2 pi under root LC. Very standard question. So we can say that the value of root L, value of L was 0.1, so we can put here 0.1, and C is 100 microfarad, so that will become 10 to the power minus 4. So effectively we can say that this will be 10 to the power minus 5. Okay, now 10 to the power minus 4 we can take outside, and that will become 10 to the power minus 2. Okay, and this is 0.1 will be left inside root, so that can be written as 1 upon root 10. Now remember, you must have been taught that pi value is approximately equals to root 10. Approximately pi is nothing but root 10. So this root 10 and pi can be cancelled, and 100 upon 2 will become nearly 50 hertz. So option B becomes the correct answer. Option C is also wrong. All right. In this question, what is happening is that two masses A and B, each of mass m, are fixed together. Okay, and if mass A starts moving towards right, okay, with the acceleration as A, then we have to find the acceleration of B. Okay, now understand that acceleration of A will be towards right, which is of the value A given in the question. Okay, let us say that acceleration of B towards left is AB. Okay, so let us say that acceleration of B towards left is AB. Okay, now if you look both of them as a single system, okay, if you look both of them as a single system, then we can say that on the entire system the only force that is acting is F. Okay, on the entire system only force that is acting is F. So what is the acceleration of center of mass? Okay, acceleration of center of mass is, we know, external force upon total mass. So external force on the entire system, external force on the entire system is F. Okay, F upon total mass is 2m. Okay, total mass is 2m. So this is the acceleration of center of mass towards left. Okay, now if I take left as positive direction, so we can also say that acceleration of center of mass can also be written as mass of B into acceleration of B, okay, plus mass of A into acceleration of A divided by mass of B plus mass of A, right? So that means F by 2m will become, mass of B is m only, acceleration of B is what we have to find, mass of A is m, acceleration of A will be minus A, because we are taking left as positive, whereas A is accelerating in the right direction. Okay, so which is why we are getting this. Now here this m and m will get cancelled. So from here what do we get? F by 2m. Okay, F by 2m will be AB minus A by 2. Okay, so this 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So AB becomes F by m plus A. That means F plus ma upon m. Okay, F plus ma upon m, which means option C will be the correct answer for this question. This is a very standard question in which we have a reflected ray, incident ray, and outward drawn normal, and we have to find the relation between the unit vectors for the same. So let us say this is a reflecting surface. Okay, so the incident unit vector is A vector, the reflected unit vector is B vector, and the normal unit vector is C vector. Okay, now although this is a standard result and this is the correct answer if you have memorized, the reflected ray, which is B vector, is incident minus 2 times dot product of incident and normal into normal. So it's a very standard result which you might have memorized, but in case you don't know how do we get this result, then we can derive this very quickly. For the derivation, what we can do, let's assume this as the x-axis. Okay, let's just assume that this is the x-axis. Okay, so that means this vector c will become y-axis, right? This will become y-axis. Okay, now look over here. So we know that this vector c is along the y-axis. So c vector is nothing but j cap, because the standard unit vector along the y-axis is j cap, and c vector is also pointing in the same direction and is also of magnitude 1. It's a unit vector. So vector c is nothing but j cap. All right. Now look what we know. We know that here law of the reflection will hold. So if this angle is theta, which means this angle is also theta. And one more thing, if a vector is pointing downward, so we can also say ki minus a vector. Okay, minus a vector will point upward, right? Minus a vector will point like this. This is minus a vector. Okay, so we can treat this as minus a vector. Okay, now if I resolve vector b, so what is vector b? If you look, vector b is since vector b has length 1, so it will be 1 cos theta j cap and sin theta I cap. Okay, so 1 cos, just simple resolution. So 1 cos theta j cap, it has a cos theta component in j cap and sin theta component in the I cap direction. Okay, simply you can resolve this vector. It is of length 1, right? And what is minus a cap? Minus a vector, sorry. So minus a vector is, simply you can say that it is also cos theta I cap, I mean cos theta j cap. This component of minus a vector is cos theta in the j cap direction and sin theta in the minus I cap direction. Okay, so that will become cos theta j cap and minus sin theta into I cap. So this is what we get. All right. Now see, basically you get the value of sin theta I cap directly from here. Look. So if I add these two, okay, if I add these two equations, so we will get b minus a. B minus a is 2 cos theta j cap. Okay, that means b vector becomes a vector plus 2 cos theta j cap. Okay, now how do we get the value of theta? Very simple. If you look at minus a vector and if you look at c vector, the angle between them is theta. Okay, so if I take the dot product of minus a and c, okay, so minus a dot c, okay, minus a dot c is how much? Mod of minus a into mod of c into angle between these two. Now mod of minus a is 1, mod of c is also 1, and cos theta is cos theta. So that means cos theta is nothing but minus a dot c. So in this relation we can put b is equals to a vector, cos theta is minus a dot c, so this will become minus a dot c. All right, and j cap was c vector, so you can see we got option b. That is how we can get it. There are other ways also to derive this relation, but I hope you would have understood this. All right, here there is a thread which is placed in the form of a loop on a horizontal film of soap solution. Okay, so imagine that this is a film of the soap solution. Okay, and so basically this is a film of a soap solution. Okay, and we have placed a loop of thread over here. Now the moment you prick the film inside the loop, what will happen? The outward radial forces, which are due to the surface tension, these forces will, you know, make the loop in the form of a circle, because circle is the equilibrium figure. You might have seen this experiment. There are the videos also on the YouTube wherein you can see this thing happening. So this loop, okay, this loop will acquire a shape of a circle. Okay, and inside this loop, like in this region, there is no film present because we have pricked it. Whereas in the outside region, like in this region, here the film is present, and the surface tension forces will be in the radially outward direction. Right, now notice that, so question is asking what's the tension developed in this loop. Okay, now let us consider a very small section of this thread. Okay, very small section of this thread. So let us say tension here is T, so this tension here will also be T. Basically in the entire loop the tension will be T only. So I am considering a very small section of this loop. Okay, so we can say that the center of the loop, let us say, is O. So let us say that this small elemental part of the loop subtends an angle d theta, where this angle is d theta. So if I draw y axis here, okay, so this angle will be d theta by 2. This half angle will be d theta by 2. Okay, so that means this angle will also be d theta by 2. Okay, this angle will also be d theta by 2, d theta by 2, which means this angle will be 90 minus d theta by 2. Okay, this angle will be 90 minus d theta by 2, right? And according to same logic, this angle will also be 90 minus d theta by 2. Okay, this angle we had called total angle as d theta, right? Now, so if I look at the y component of the tension which is developed in the thread, so that will be tension ka y component, and this will also be tension ka y component. Okay, these two Ty are acting in the downward y direction on this small elemental loop. Now, which force will balance this two Ty? Okay, so that will be balanced by the upward going surface tension forces. So on this element, we can say that upward going surface tension force will be acting, and we know that surface tension, if I say is so here they are calling surface tension as T. So let me change the variable of the given tension as let's say T dash. So because surface tension is T, so I'm changing this variable as T dash. Okay, so this will be T dash y. So T dash is the tension developed in thread. So now what is the force of the surface tension acting on this elemental loop? So that will be T into dl into 2. Let's understand this. So if you look at this small length, let's call this length as dl. Okay, so surface tension we know acts perpendicular to the line segment, so we can say that since this element is almost horizontal, so or almost parallel to x-axis, so we can say that this this surface tension will be acting in the upward direction or in the y-axis. Okay, now why so, and how do we write the surface tension force? That is surface tension coefficient multiplied by the length, so T into dl. But why did we get 2 here? Because if you understand, there are two films, one on our side and one on the back side. So for example, this is a sheet of paper. Imagine this is a sheet of paper. So you can write on the one side and then you can write on the other side also. Yes or no? So basically on a sheet of paper, you can write on this side and you can write on the other side. Similarly, if this is a soap film, okay, if there's a soap film, so you can, there are two surfaces. One is the top surface and one is the bottom surface. So basically the thread, we imagine that thread will be in contact with the both surfaces, like it will be touching the top surface and also in bottom surface also, because we can feel as if the the thread is thick enough, it can just basically be in contact with both the surfaces. So that is the idea. So thickness of the thread is good enough to basically, you can say it is going to cross both these surfaces. It is in contact with top surface also, bottom surface also, which is why we will get this. Okay, now once we understand this, so dl we can write as rd theta. Okay, dl is nothing but rd theta. Okay, into 2. Oh, in fact you can cancel this 2 also. Okay, so ty will become t cos 90 minus d theta by 2. T cos 90 minus t dash cos 90 minus d theta by 2, right? So that means this will become t dash sine d theta by 2. Okay, this will be t into r d theta, and for small angle we know that sine of small angle can be written as small angle itself. So sine d theta by 2 will become d theta by 2. That will be t into r into d theta. That means t dash will become 2tr. T dash will become 2tr. Okay, so option D will be the correct answer for this question. All right. Let's look at this question here. So basically, there is a solid sphere of radius r, okay, and which is of mass density rho, and from this sphere, we are removing a spherical cavity. Basically, we are creating a spherical cavity of radius r by 4, and the distance of the cavity is at a distance of r by 3 from the center. So somewhere over here, let us say, okay, this distance is r by 3. Okay, this distance is r by 3, and the radius of this cavity is r by 4. Okay, so we have to find the field at the center of the cavity. Okay, that means we have to find the field at the point c1. Okay, so see, the basic idea to write the value of the field at the c1, let me use E to represent the field. So value of the field at c1, okay, that will be equals to value of the field due to the whole sphere, okay, minus value of the field due to cavity. Okay, simple, right? Now look at the cavity first. Okay, cavity was also a solid sphere which has been removed, right? Cavity is also basically this shaded sphere has been removed, right? So this is a solid sphere which has been removed, and what is the formula of the field inside a solid sphere? So field inside a solid sphere, okay, is nothing but gmx by r cube. Okay, so if you look for this sphere which has been removed, c1 is at the center. Okay, so the field of this sphere at its own center, I mean the shaded portion, so field of the shaded portion at the center c1 will be 0. Okay, so x basically will be, because x is 0, x is the distance from the center, so basically we can say that this portion will be 0. Okay, the this entire cavity or this entire solid sphere which has been removed, will create zero field at C1. Okay, so this part will be 0. That means EC1 is nothing but field due to the whole sphere, field due to the whole sphere. Okay, now imagine that whole sphere was present. Okay, so what would have been the field? That will be G into M into X. X means this distance, which is R by 3. Okay, again I will use the same formula, G into M into the, X, which is R by 3. Okay, upon R cube. Okay, and how will you write the value of M? M is the mass of the entire sphere, which is nothing but density into volume, 4 by 3 pi R cube. Okay, so this is the mass of the whole sphere. All right, so from here we can say R cube and R cube will get cancelled. So this becomes G into rho into 4R by 9. So answer becomes 4G rho R by 9. 4G. I think I missed pi here. Yes, pi is also present. So sorry. So pi is also present. So 4G rho R by 9. So this will be the correct answer for this question. All right. I hope you would have understood. Let's see the next question. Here, a hose can deliver up this much amount of water per second, and the whole area is this. When we have to find the force applied by the water stream, okay, when it hits a wall. So this is a wall, and the water strikes the wall and falls off. So it's a very standard result. The force applied by a horizontal stream, okay, force applied by a horizontal stream is given by rho AB square. When such a fluid stream strikes a wall, so standard result, this is the force is given by rho AB square. Okay, now here rho is the density of the water. All right, now look, basically if I multiply this by A, so basically I have multiplied by A and divided by A. Why? Because look, this is the rate of volume flow, the rate of volume of water traveling per second. Okay, the amount of, or you can say volume of water hitting per second. Okay, so this is nothing but A into V. Okay, you should remember that A into V is nothing but rate of volume flow. So density of the water is 1000, and A into V is 4 into 10 to the power minus 3. So 4 into 10 to the power minus 3, and we have to square it, divide by area, which is 4 centimeter square. So that will become 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Now we can just do the calculations. So this will become 4 into 4, and 1000 will nullify one of the powers. So here minus 3 will only remain, and here this will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, that means this will become 40 newtons. So option A will be the correct answer. Then if two bulbs of 25 and 100 watts are rated to 100 volts and they're connected in series with the 200 volt supply, then we have to find which bulb will fuse. So let us see that bulb 1 is 25 watt. Okay, so what is the resistance of this bulb? Let us say R1. So the rating of the bulb is 200 volts, 25 watt. That means it will produce 25 watt when the potential difference is 200 volts. Okay, so we can say that power is V square by R. So power is 25. That will be equals to 200 into 200 by R. So that means R1 becomes 1600 ohms. That means the resistance of this bulb was 1600. Okay, similarly for the second bulb whose rating is 100 watt, let us say resistance is R2. If I use the same formula, so power of this bulb is 100, that will be equals to V square. V is 200 into 200 upon R2. So R2 will become 400 ohms. Now what happens is that these two bulbs are connected to a 400 volt supply. Okay, so look, one more thing we should understand is that when we have been given rating like this, 25 watt 200 volts, 100 watt 200 volts, that means this also implies कि maximum potential difference that this bulb can sustain is 200 volts. Also this bulb can also sustain a maximum potential difference of 200 volts. So rating also means that if any bulb is rated some watt some volts, so that voltage also implies the maximum potential difference that it can sustain. So now if you see, this R1 is 1600 bulb 1 and this is 400. Okay, and this was connected to a supply of 400 volts. Okay, so what is the current flowing in this circuit? Suppose, so what is the current that would have flown? So current that would have flown will be 400 upon 2000 ohms. That means 1 by 5 amperes. Okay, that means what is the potential difference that will occur across the first bulb. So potential difference that will occur across the first bulb is 1 by 5 into 1600, okay, which is how much, 320. And potential difference that will occur across the second is 1 by 5 into 400, which is 80. So both the bulbs could have sustained a maximum of 200 volts. So bulb 2 will be fine, but bulb 1 will damage, it will fuse. So 25-watt bulb will fuse. All right. Now here in this question we have to find that which function will have a period of pi by omega. Okay. Now if you look at the first function, okay, so it is sine cube omega t. So sine cube omega t. Now if you remember sine 3 theta, so sine 3 theta is 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta, right? So from here we can see that sine cube theta is nothing but 3 sine theta minus sine 3 theta divided by 4. All right. So if I put theta as omega t here, so sine cube omega t will be 3 sine omega t minus sine 3 omega t and whole 1 by 4. Now these two are individually they are SHMs, but combination will not produce SHM because they are of different angular frequencies. So here you will not get overall SHM. Okay. So question says that overall motion should be SHM and the period should be pi by omega. Okay. So this is wrong. If I look at option B, you can multiply by root 2 and divide by root 2. So this expression y will become 1 by root 2. So root 2 I am keeping outside, and this will become 1 by root 2 sine omega t plus 1 by root 2 cos omega t. Okay. Now this 1 by root 2 is nothing but you can write this as cos pi by 4. Okay. And this will become sine pi by 4. So now you can use sine of a plus b. So this will become sine of omega t plus pi by 4. All right. So this is an SHM, but it's if you understand, its time period will be 2 pi by omega because the time period is 2 pi by angular frequency, which is omega here. But we wanted the time period as pi by omega. So option B will also not satisfy. It's an SHM, but time period is not what we want. Here, if you see, the angular frequency is 2 omega, very obviously. Okay, in the option C, the angular frequency is 2 omega, so time period will be 2 pi by angular frequency, which is 2 omega. So time period comes out to be pi by omega, and it is an SHM. Okay, it is an SHM. Sine and cos does not matter, whether it's a cos or it's a sine. You can always convert from sine to cos and from cos to sine. So that conversion can always be made. Okay, so this is an SHM. Here again, these three individually, like this is an SHM function with angular frequency omega. This is also SHM, angular frequency 2 omega. SHM, angular frequency 3 omega. But combination will not be an SHM. Overall, it will not be an SHM. So option D is also wrong. All right. Here we have got two identical dipoles, two ideal dipoles, not identical, two ideal dipoles of A and B, and having dipole moment P1 and P2. Okay, so this is the dipole P1. Okay, and this is the dipole P2. All right. At the point C, the electric field makes an angle of 37 degree with the AC. So here the electric field is making an angle of 37 degree like this. Okay. So look, so we have to find the ratio P1 is to P2. Now look, for the dipole P1, this point will be a point C will be a radial. Point C will be an axial point. Okay, so let's say this distance is r. So because of the dipole P1, the electric field will be E1, and that will be 2k P1 by r cube. Okay, because of the dipole P2, C is an equatorial point and dipole is looking down, dipole P2. So electric field will be looking up because at an equatorial point, electric field is opposite to dipole moment. So E2 will be kp2 by r cube. Okay, kp2 by r cube. And according to question, this angle was 37. That means we can say that tan 37 will be E2 by E1. All right. So E2 is kp2 by r cube, kp2 by r cube divided by 2k p1 by r cube. Okay. So from here k by r cube will get cancelled. Tan 37 is 3 by 4. That will be p2 upon 2 p1. Okay. So from here p1 by p2 will be 2 by 3. p1 by p2 will be 2 by 3. So option C will be the correct answer for this question. Then here in this question, there is a conducting bar which is free to slide on these two rails. These are the two rails, and the conducting bar can slide left right. So there is an external agent which pulls the bar towards left at a constant speed. Okay, and we have to find the direction of current in both the resistors. Now see, because of the magnetic field is also present, which is going in the screen. So because of the motional EMF, there will be a potential difference that will develop in this rod, and whose value will be BBL. Okay, and the direction of the like potential difference is given by in the direction of V cross B. That means the higher potential is in the direction of V cross B. So if you do the cross product, velocity is pointing towards left and magnetic field is inside, so V cross B is pointing down. Okay, that means the higher polarity will be down. So this type of potential difference will be developed, and its value will be BB into length of this rod. Okay, so that means if you look at this resistor R1, so here the current will be flowing like this, because current always goes from the higher potential to the lower potential in the R1 in a resistor. So we can say that in this the current will flow like this. Okay, and here R2, this point will be at higher potential and this point is at lower potential. So here the current will flow like this. Okay, so basically we can say that I1 is flowing in the clockwise direction and I2 is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction. So option A is the correct answer. All right. Here there is a proton and an alpha particle. So we know that proton is 1p1 and alpha particle is 2he4. Okay, so basically if you call here the charge as q, so here the charge will be 2q, and if you call here mass as m, so here the mass will be 4m. All right, they both enter the magnetic field at an angle 90 degrees. Okay, and the ratio of the radius from proton to alpha particle is 2:1. That means r of proton upon r of alpha is 2:1. So we have to find the ratio of the kinetic energy. Now remember that radius of circular motion in a magnetic field is what? Mv by qb, right? Mv is the linear momentum, so we can write Mv as under root 2 into m into kinetic energy upon q into b, right? Now if I take the ratio, so r of proton upon r of alpha, so look, magnetic field is same for both, so it will get cancelled. So effectively 2 will also get cancelled. So effectively this ratio or radius we can say will depend upon mass, kinetic energy and charge. So here you will get mass of proton into kinetic energy of proton upon charge of proton. Okay, and this whole thing divide by under root of mass of alpha particle, kinetic energy of alpha particle into charge of alpha particle, right? Rp by r alpha was given as 2, so Rp by r alpha will become 2. Okay, mass of proton is m, kinetic energy of proton is kp, charge on alpha particle is 2q upon charge on proton is q, mass of alpha particle is 4m, mass of alpha particle is 4m, into kinetic energy of alpha particle is k alpha, right? Now q and q will also get cancelled, m and m will also get cancelled, root 4 and 2 will get cancelled. So 2 is nothing but under root of kp by k alpha, so that means kp by k alpha will become 4. So option D will be the correct answer for this question. Direction of the first secondary maximum, that means first maxima basically in a Fraunhofer diffraction pattern in a single slit. So if you remember, suppose this is the central maxima, so after the central maxima we get first minima, here we get first minima. Okay, and similarly here also we will get first minima. Okay, then here we will get second minima. Okay, and exactly between first and second minima you will get first maximum. Okay, which they are calling first secondary maximum. Okay, so if this is the single slit pattern, and let us say this is the reference line, so we can say that if this angle is theta and the slit width is a, so for the first maxima the condition becomes a sin theta is, so for the first minima it is 1 lambda, for the second minima it is 2 lambda, for the first maxima it is 1.5 lambda. Okay, for the first maxima, so a sin theta is 3 lambda by 2 is the correct answer. All right. The electric field intensity produced by the radiation coming from a 100 watt bulb at a distance 3 meter is the electric field produced from a 60-watt bulb at the same distance. Now again, suppose there is a small source of light. So let us say its power is P naught. So this will radiate light in every possible direction. Okay. So at a distance r, suppose if I am going at a distance r, so the power will be distributed over a spherical surface of 4 pi r square. Imagine a spherical surface of radius r. So this entire power will be distributed over the radius 4 pi r square. So we can say that intensity can be written as power upon 4 pi r square. Okay. Now intensity of an EM wave can also be written as half epsilon naught electric field square into speed of light. That is also the formula of writing intensity. Okay, where E is the electric field. So if I use the same result in the two situations, so in the first case the bulb was 100 watt, so power of the bulb will be 100. Distance is 3 meters, so this will become 3 square. That will be equals to half epsilon naught into electric field square. So electric field intensity they are calling this is E is the electric field intensity here. So E square into speed of light. Okay. In the second situation, the only power changes. So power becomes 60. So P naught will become 60. Distance will be 3 itself. So distance is not changing. It is remaining 3 itself. So half epsilon naught into new electric field intensity. So new electric field intensity they are calling as under root x by 5e. So this is the new electric field intensity. So if you square it and put here, so that will become x by 5 into E square. Okay, this is the new electric field intensity. So x by 5 into E square. So just square it and put here and multiply by speed of light. Okay. Now if I take the ratio, so if I take the ratio of these two equations, so this will get cancelled. This will also get cancelled. Okay, E square will also get cancelled. 100 by 60 will become 5 by 3, and from here we will get 5 by x. Okay, so from here we can see that x will become 3. Okay, x will become 3. All right. So the value of x will be 3. Here what is happening? So there's a boy which is pulling the rope, and the coefficient of friction between the wood and the floor is 0.5 here. So we have to find the maximum force that the boy can apply so that block does not move. Now mass of the boy is 4 kg, mass of the block is 5 kg. So if I consider this as a single system, look, if I consider this as a single system, boy plus wood as a single system. So the the force acting on this is 9g downward. Okay, 9g force will 9g means 90. So 90 Newton force, which is mg, will act downward. Normal reaction from the ground will act up, and this tension will also act up. Okay, tension will actually act on the hand of the boy. So this tension will act up. So we can say that T plus N should be equals to 90 because motion is not happening. That is what we have to find, or we have to ensure. So normal reaction becomes 90 minus T. Okay. Now if you look at right side, so this tension is also acting in the forward direction. So friction will try to prevent the motion. So friction will act in the backward direction, right? And we must ensure that tension is equals to friction so that motion does not happen. Okay. Now the idea here is that if boy tries to apply more and more tension, more and more force, so the force with which the boy is pulling the rope is also equals to the force with which rope is pulling the boy, so which is equals to tension. So if boy increases the tension, then we can say that the force of friction required will also increase because T is equals to F. But friction cannot go beyond a certain value. So the maximum force that boy can apply is equals to the limiting value of the friction, which is equals to mu into normal. Now mu value was 0.5, normal is 90 minus T. Okay. So from here we can see that 2T will be 90 minus T. That means 3T will be 90. That means tension will become 30 newtons. So maximum force that the boy can apply is nothing but 30 newtons. All right. Here, what is happening? So basically, there is a potential energy function for a particle moving in a circular orbit is given by this function u naught into r to the power 4. And using the Bohr's quantization rule, we have to find the relation between radius and the principal quantum number. So let us say that a particular electron is moving in this type of the trajectory, okay, or particular charge. Okay, and let's say the value of the charge, the mass of the charge is m, and this radius is r. Okay, so the centripetal force we can write as minus du by dr. Okay, so if I differentiate this, we will get minus 4 u naught r cube. Okay, and here minus sign just indicates the attractive nature of the force, that force is going to attract the particle towards the center. Okay, which basically is bound nature of the trajectory. Basically particle is moving in a bound trajectory. So that is what this minus sign indicates. Okay. So if you look at the magnitude of the force, minus, as I said, just indicates the attractive nature or the direction, you can also say. So 4 u naught r cube is the magnitude of the force, and that will be equals to mv square by r. That means we can say that the value of v square becomes 4 u naught r to the power 4. Okay, 4 u naught r to the power 4 by m. This is the value of v square. Using the quantization rule, we can say that angular momentum, which is nothing but mvr, will be nth multiple of h upon 2 pi. Okay, so from here, if you look at the value of v, that becomes n h upon 2 pi m r. So if I square the value of v and put it in the first equation, in this equation, so that will become 4 u naught r to the power 4 upon m. That will be equals to n square h square upon 4 pi square m r. Sorry, 4 pi square m square r square. Okay, so if you take r this side, so we will get r to the power 6, and everything else is a constant, and you can see it is n square. So r to the power 6 is proportional to n square, which means r is proportional to n to the power 2 by 6. That means r is proportional to n to the power 1 by 3. So here alpha becomes 3. All right. So in this question, basically, there's a capacitor plate which has been immersed in a seawater. Okay, and the resistivity and the permittivity of the seawater has been given to us. Okay, both the plates of the capacitor has been immersed in the seawater, and the permittivity is 80 epsilon naught, and the resistivity is 0.25 for the seawater. Now what happens? This capacitor plate has been connected with an AC source of the voltage, which is given as V is equals to V naught sine of 2 pi f ko we can write as omega for the time being. So this becomes V naught sine omega t. And now what happens is that here the question is asking that like the conduction current density. So basically here the because of this voltage variation, a current will flow between the capacitor plates. It's a conduction current. So question is saying that the conduction current density will become 10 to the power x times the displacement current density after 1 by 800 seconds. So we have to find the value of x. So basically, effectively, we have to calculate that what will be the ratio of the conduction current density to the displacement current density at the time t is equals to 1 by 800 seconds. All right. So what we will do, so basically, see here, first we can understand that the voltage between these two capacitor plate is given as this. Let us say distance between the capacitor plate is d. Okay, so we can say that electric field between these two capacitor plates, okay, electric field between these two capacitor plates will be what? Will be v by d, right? So electric field between these two capacitor plates will be v by d. All right. And now you might recall that there's a formula which gives the relation between the current density and the electric field, which is J is equals to sigma E. Okay, J is equals to sigma E, where J is the current density, this is the conduction current density, and into electric field. Okay, now sigma can be written as 1 upon resistivity. Okay, so here sigma is the conductivity of the seawater, and which we can write as 1 upon rho. So conduction current density will become E by rho, and as I said, value of E can be written as V by D. So this will become V by rho D. Okay, so this is the value of the conduction current density. Okay, conduction current density will become V by rho D. All right. Now let's talk about the displacement current density. So if you recall, the displacement current, okay, I displacement is written as epsilon into rate of change of electric flux. Okay, rate of change of electric flux. Okay, and how do we write the value of epsilon value is given? It is given basically between the capacitor plates. The value of the epsilon is 80 epsilon naught, and the electric flux, what is electric flux? That will be electric field into the area of the plates. Okay, electric field into the area of the plates, so that we can write as E into A, right? Electric field into area. Okay, now see, this becomes 80 epsilon naught, area is constant, so this will come out, this will become d by dt of electric field, and electric field, as I said, was v by d. Okay, potential difference upon distance, so that means this becomes d by dt of v by d. All right, electric field was v by d. Again, this small d is nothing but distance between the capacitor plates, so this will also come out. Okay, so this small d will come out, and this will become dv by dt. Okay, rate of change of potential across the capacitor plates. So if I differentiate this, okay, if I differentiate this, this will become 80 epsilon naught a by d into derivative of this. So if I differentiate this V with respect to time, that will become V naught omega cos omega t. Okay. Now, as I said, the question is saying that at time 1 by 800 seconds, okay, at time 1 by 800 seconds, the current density, the ratio of the current conduction current density. So basically, the conduction current density J conduction becomes 10 to the power x times J displacement. Okay, and how will you find J displacement? That will be I displacement upon area. Okay, upon area, basically this area. Okay, so J conduction is V by rho d, V by rho d, and V is given as sorry, V is given as V naught sin omega t. So V naught sin omega t is the value of V upon rho into d. That is the value of conduction current density. That will be 10 to the power x into J displacement. And what is the value of J displacement? I displacement upon area. Okay, I displacement upon area. So that we will write 80 epsilon naught upon d, okay, into V naught cos omega t. Okay, V naught cos omega t. All right. Now this value we have to calculate at time 1 by 800 seconds. Okay, this value we have to calculate at time 1 by 800 seconds. So look, this V naught will get cancelled, d will also get cancelled. So we are left with 1 by rho sin omega t upon cos omega t will become tan omega t. Okay, this will be 10 to the power x into 80 epsilon naught. Okay, tan of, now let's put the values here. Omega is 2 into pi into f. F is 900 given in the question here. Frequency, time we have to calculate, we have to calculate the ratio at time 1 by 800 seconds. So time value will be 1 by 800. Rho you can bring on the RHS. So rho is 1 by 4. Okay, 10 to the power x will remain as it is. 80 epsilon naught. Okay, so basically what will be the value of, I think here omega will also come. I think we have missed the omega. J displacement, wait, yeah, omega was also here. Look, so basically here this omega is also present, V naught omega. Okay, so this omega I have missed here, so this omega was also present. Let me write here. So this omega is also present. All right, so rho I have taken on this side, so this is the value of rho. 10 to the power x is present here. 80 into epsilon naught into omega. Omega is nothing but 2 pi f. Okay, omega is nothing but 2 pi into f. All right, now see, this 0 will get cancelled. This becomes tan of 9 pi by 4. Look, this becomes tan of 9 pi by 4. Here if you see, this 4 and this will become 20. Okay, and this you can write as 10. 20 ko we can break 2 into 10, and 10 I have already written, and remaining 2 if you merge with this, so this will become 4 pi. Okay, so epsilon naught into 4 pi into frequency, which is 900. Now look, tan of 9 pi by 4 will be 1, because this effectively becomes tan pi by 4, which is nothing but 1. This becomes 10 to the power x into 10 into 4 pi epsilon naught value is 1 upon 9 into 10 to the power 9 multiplied by 900. Okay, this is the value. So 900. So this 9 will make it 100. So you can see what we are getting is 10 to the power x will be is equals to 1000 upon 10 to the power 9. So which if we take on the other side, it will become 10 to the power 6. Hence x becomes 6. Okay, so our answer will be 6 for this question. All right, let's see the next question. So in this question, there is the volume V of a gas which is monatomic varies with the temperature according to this rule, where K is some constant. Okay, the work done we have to find when the temperature increases by 90 Kelvin. Okay, and in the terms of XR, so what is the value of X? Okay, now look at the process equation which the gas is following. So process equation is V is equals to some constant K into temperature to the power 2 by 3. All right, now if I write the value of temperature as PV by NR using the ideal gas equation, PV by NR, temperature can be written as PV by NR to the power 2 by 3. Okay, so look, this is P to the power 2 by 3. All right, this is V to the power 2 by 3, this term, and 2 by 3, and this V will come on the RHS, so this will become 1 upon V, and remaining thing K, moles, R, everything is a constant. So I'm saying that thing is a constant. All right, so if you see, this becomes P to the power 2 by 3 into V to the power minus 1 by 3 constant. all right. If you cube this, so this will become p square into v to the power minus 1. Cube of a constant is also a constant. Like for example, if constant is 2, so 2 cube will become 8, which is also a constant, all right. And now if I underroot this, so if I underroot this whole equation, so we will get pressure to the power 1 and volume to the power minus half. This is constant. Again, under root of a constant is also a constant. Okay, so effectively, if you understand, we have gotten the equation of this process in terms of pressure volume as pv to the power minus half as constant, which is a process equation of a polytropic process. Okay, and if you remember, so this value will, you can basically, you can say, is the power of volume on a polytropic process when the pressure has a power 1. So if you remember, the work done in a polytropic process can be written as P1 V1 minus P2 V2 standard formula upon x minus 1, or you can say this value minus 1. This is the power of volume. So power of volume minus 1. So power of volume is minus half minus 1. This is the formula. Okay. So now P1 V1, look, P1 V1 can be written as nRT1. P2 V2 can be written as nRT2 upon, this will become minus 3 by 2. So this you can write as nR T2 minus T1. So I am nullifying this minus sign and I am writing like this. So this is the work done. Okay, now the number of moles was 1. Okay, R will be like this. T2 minus T1 is 90 because temperature increased by 90 upon 3 by 2. Okay, so if you see, this will become 90 to the 180 upon 3. So this will become 60 R. So work done will become 60 R. So this X will come out to be 60. Okay, this X will come out to be 60. Okay, I hope you would have understood.
This question is actually based on the colligative properties of dilute solution, in which we are going to apply elevation and boiling point concept, right? Elevation and boiling point के लिए हमें 1 ग्राम ऑफ नॉन वोलेटाइल सॉल्यूट दिया है, दो अलग अलग सॉल्वेंट में डिसॉल्व किया है, दोनों के अंदर सॉल्वेंट का मास 100 ग्राम दिया हुआ है, and we need to calculate the ratio of elevation in boiling point of the two different solutions where abelioscopic constant ratio is given. So simple question, we know that delta TB is directly proportional to molality, or simply I can write Kb into molality. So mole of solute is constant, solvent ka weight is also constant, so delta TB for A upon delta TB for B must be equal to Kb for A upon Kb for B. All right, molality will remain same for the two solutions, और ये आपको ratio दिया है 1:5, and if I assume this is x upon y which is given in the question, so x plus y is going to be 1 plus 5, so your answer is going to be 6. Easy question, direct formula based, ratio already दिया हुआ है, that ratio has to be equated as ratio of elevation and boiling point and x plus y का sum निकालना है. All right, moving to the next question. In this question one organic compound is given, and organic compound के लिए कुछ स्पेशल reagents दिए हुए हैं, आपको बताना है कि जो compound A and B है उसके बारे में. क्वेश्चन में पूछा है B is a primary amine, then number of pi bonds in compound A. If you can recall Gabriel thalamide synthesis जहाँ पे प्राइमरी अमीन बनाया जाता है, तो ये थैलीमाइड है बेसिकली. अगर इसका रिएक्शन मैं KOH से करता हूँ तो this will be conjugate base of thalamide N minus this and K plus, right? Next step we have taken C2H5Cl, which is actually showing nucleophilic substitution reaction. This product is going to be formed, and once we hydrolyze H plus, we are going to get phthalic acid plus ETNH2, right? तो एक प्रोडक्ट आपका A हो गया और एक प्रोडक्ट आपका B हो गया. They are asking B is primary amine, so A is phthalic acid, number of pi bonds in the compound A. So you can check, in benzene ring there are 3 pi bonds, and in carboxylic acid there is 1 pi bond. Since there are 2 carboxylic acid groups, so we are going to get 3 plus 2, that is 5. So total 5 pi bonds are present in the compound A, so your answer is going to be 5. All right, simple. एक particular reaction based question था ये, that is called as Gabriel thalamide synthesis. This is a very important preparation of primary amines. All right. The transition of electrons from a higher orbit n to second orbit produces 10 spectral lines and the value of n is. हमें पता है कि अगर हम किसी n2 एनर्जी लेवल से n1 एनर्जी लेवल में इलेक्ट्रॉन को मूव कराते हैं तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ spectral lines formed is equal to delta n into delta n plus 1 by 2. All right, and delta n is actually equal to n2 minus n1. So electron is actually coming from higher energy level to second orbit, right? Second orbit. That means delta n is going to be n minus 2. So here I can apply 10 is equal to n minus 2 and n minus 2 plus 1, that is n minus 1. N minus 1 divided by 2. From here if you solve you will get the value of n is equal to what? It is 6. So the orbit number is going to be 6. Is it fine? In this question, HF molecule is given. In this HF molecule, we need to calculate percentage covalent character. So we have a concept of calculating percentage ionic character by calculating dipole moment. Bond length is given and electronic charge we can assume. From here we can calculate dipole moment, which is a calculated value, actually slightly greater than the actual value. So with the help of observed dipole moment, we can calculate percentage ionic character, and percentage of covalent character will be 1 minus or 100 minus percentage of ionic character. So first of all, we calculate dipole moment with the help of these values. Dipole moment is charge, which is 1 electronic charge into bond length, right? Charge is 4.8 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 ESU, and bond length is 1.62 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 centimeter. This comes out to be 4.8 into 1.62 into 10 power minus 18 ESU centimeter, which is equal to 4.8 into 1.62 divide. All right, observed dipole moment is given in the question. So percentage ionic character is equal to mu observed upon mu calculated into 100. This comes out to be 0.39 given hai. 4.8 into 10 1.62 divide multiplied by 100 comes out to be 5%. So percentage covalent character will be 100 minus 5, which is 95%. This is how we can calculate percentage ionic or covalent character in a given bond. All right, moving to the next question. In this question, this is a fact-based question. Group 13 and 14 contains some metalloid, some radioactive element. We need to calculate the product of number of elements which are metalloids and which are radioactive elements. So 13 में जो metalloid है वो आपका boron है. In 14 it is silicon and germanium. And 13 में जो radioactive element है वो nihilium है. And Fl is the element which is present as a radioactive element in group 14. So total 3 into 2 is equal to 2 radioactive elements and 3 metalloid. So 3 into 2 going to be 6. All right. So answer of this question is going to be 6. This question is actually based on first order kinetics. I think rate of a first order reaction is given and concentration is given. Half life is needed to be calculated. All right. तो हमको पता है कि जो रेट होता है फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन का, इट इज प्रोडक्ट ऑफ के इनटू कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ रिएक्टेंट. सो फ्रॉम हियर आई कैन कैलकुलेट द वैल्यू ऑफ के. रेट इज 1.5 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 divided by concentration, which is 0.5. From here we can calculate K, and we know that half life is going to be 0.693 upon K. So substituting the value 0.693 upon K is 1.5 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 into 0.5. This comes out to be 23.1 minute. All right, very simple formula based question. तो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर के लिए हम सबको पता होता है कि जो हाफ लाइफ और रेट कांस्टेंट में रिलेशन है वो ये होता है. तो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन कैलकुलेट हाफ लाइफ ऑफ अ फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन. This question is also based on the factual things. Mercury is a liquid metal because it has a incompletely filled d orbital, it has a small atomic size, it has a completely filled d orbital that prevents dd overlap of orbital. This is going to be the correct answer. It has a completely filled d orbital that causes dd overlapping of orbital. गलत है. एक्चुअली डी ऑर्बिटल कंप्लीटली फिल्ड है, D10 इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन होता है मरकरी में, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट डी ओवरलैपिंग पॉसिबल है नहीं, और अगर डी ओवरलैपिंग पॉसिबल नहीं है तो स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मेटालिक बॉन्ड गोज डाउन, और अगर मेटालिक बॉन्ड का स्ट्रेंथ बहुत कम होगा इन दैट सिचुएशन इट इज सपोज टू बी और इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी इन द लिक्विड स्टेट बिकॉज ऑफ वीक मेटालिक बॉन्डिंग. ऑलराइट, सो सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ये क्वेश्चन नस्ट इक्वेशन पे बेस्ड है. बेसिकली जो हम लोग किसी भी गैल्वेनिक सेल के लिए नस्ट इक्वेशन लगाते हैं उसमें उसकी हेल्प से हम लोग बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर इक्वेशन फॉर द गिवन सेल रिएक्शन. तो सबसे पहले हम लोग इस सेल की सेल रिएक्शन लिख सकते हैं. जिंक आयन प्लस जिंक प्लस आयरन 2 प्लस चेंजिंग इनटू जिंक 2 प्लस प्लस आयरन. तो फॉर दिस आई कैन राइट E इज इक्वल टू E नॉट माइनस 0.0591 अपॉन 2 log zinc ion divided by iron 2 plus concentration, right? Electromotive force is given 0.2957 and that is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 upon 2 log. Concentrations are also given. Zinc ion is given as 0.01 and iron का दिया हुआ है 0.001. इसकी हेल्प से I can calculate the value of E naught, right? इस सेल का मुझे E naught पता चल गया. E naught is not 0 exactly. We have calculated E naught. Once we know E naught, हमको पता है कि at equilibrium electromotive force has to be 0. तो अगर एक बार फिर से मैं इस नस्ट इक्वेशन को लगाता हूँ तो I can write E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 upon 2 log. equilibrium पे मैं यहाँ Kc लिख सकता हूँ और ये वैल्यू हो जाएगी 0, right? So log Kc is equal to twice into E naught divided by 0.0591, या मैं लिख सकता हूँ E naught divided by 0.0295 something, right? Since E naught is already known, now we can calculate Kc. यहाँ से आप कैलकुलेट करोगे Kc, तो Kc एक्चुअली आ जाता है something like it is 10 raised to the power minus 10 raised to the power 0.32 upon 0.0295. So I guess this is going to be the correct answer. ऑलराइट, तो यहाँ पे आपका नस्ट इक्वेशन का एक सिंपल एप्लीकेशन है जिसकी हेल्प से आप लोग लॉग केसी या केसी निकाल सकते हो. ओके, दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन ऑप्टिकल एंड ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमेरिज्म इन कोऑर्डिनेशन कॉम्प्लेक्सेस या कोऑर्डिनेशन कंपाउंड्स, राइट? कॉम्प्लेक्सेस में आपको बताना है कि किसमें ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमेरिज्म होगी, किसमें नहीं होगी. ऑलराइट, तो बेसिकली कॉम्प्लेक्स दिया हुआ है. कॉम्प्लेक्स है PTEN होल ट्वाइस Cl2 2 प्लस, और इसके बारे में बताना है इट हैज 2 ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमर्स सिस एंड ट्रांस. लेट्स चेक. हमें बताना है इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट, राइट? तो फर्स्ट वन इज करेक्ट. अगर आप इस कंपाउंड का स्ट्रक्चर लिखोगे इन होल ट्वाइस, इन क्योंकि सिमेट्रिकल बाइडेंटेट लिगेंड होता है, आप अगर इन को यहाँ और यहाँ फिक्स कर दोगे तो क्लोरीन क्लोरीन ये हो गया ट्रांसफॉर्म, और अगर आप क्लोरीन क्लोरीन को सिस फॉर्म में लिख दो और फिर आप इन को ना यहाँ और यहाँ पे फिक्स कर सकते हो, यहाँ पे, राइट? इन दैट सिचुएशन आपका ये तो इसके अंदर तो प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री होगा, ये ऑप्टिकली इनएक्टिव हो गया और ये ऑप्टिकली एक्टिव हो गया, इसके अंदर प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेगा. तो अब ऑप्शंस पे आ जाते हैं. It has 2 geometrical isomers, perfect है. Both the cis and trans isomers display optical activity, ये गलत स्टेटमेंट है, ये गलत स्टेटमेंट है. यानी कि आपका आंसर तो आ गया बी, ठीक है? एक ऑप्टिकली एक्टिव है, एक इनएक्टिव है. ओनली द सिस फॉर्म डिस्प्लेज ऑप्टिकल एक्टिविटी, करेक्ट है. सिस फॉर्म ऑप्टिकल एक्टिविटी दिखा रहा है. ओनली सिस आइसोमर है नॉन सुपर इम्पोजेबल मिरर इमेज, ये भी करेक्ट है. ऑप्टिकली एक्टिव कंपाउंड की प्रॉपर्टी होती है ये. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज द कंसेप्ट बिहाइंड दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्टिकल आइसोमेरिज्म इन coordination compounds. ठीक है? In this question we need to actually find out the product of this reaction and उस प्रोडक्ट के बारे में, उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज के बारे में दिया हुआ है. तो जैसा कि क्वेश्चन में लिखा हुआ है, जो स्ट्रक्चर बना हुआ है और जो रिएजेंट दिया हुआ उस हिसाब से यहाँ पे देखिए OH है और यहाँ पे H है, एसिड हीटिंग कंडीशन दी हुई है. सो वी एक्सपेक्ट डिहाइड्रेशन रिएक्शन टू टेक प्लेस. अगर इस कंपाउंड के अंदर डिहाइड्रेशन होता है तो जो हमारा प्रोडक्ट बनेगा C डबल बॉन्ड C अगेन डबल बॉन्ड देन एक पीएच हो गया, और यहाँ पे मैं 5 लिख देता हूँ, बहुत बड़ा ग्रुप है इसको बनाने की बजाय. this one is taken as phi. All right, now this compound is actually एलीन. एलीन है जिसमें इवन नंबर ऑफ डबल बॉन्ड है. हम सब जानते हैं कि एलीन्स में यदि डबल बॉन्ड इवन नंबर हो तो ये जो कंपाउंड होता है ये कंप्लीटली प्लेनर नहीं होता है. फाई, ये पीएच एंड ये फाई. नाउ दिस इज लाइक दिस, ऐसा होगा, एक प्लेन में होगा और एक आउट ऑफ द प्लेन जा रहा होगा. तो यू कैन चेक दिस कंपाउंड लैक्स प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री. इसमें प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री नहीं है, और अगर प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री नहीं है तो ये रैसमिक मिक्सचर के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट करेगा. सो बी इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, ये क्वेश्चन बेसिकली एल्कीन की ओजोनोलिसिस रिएक्शन पे बेस्ड है. तो क्वेश्चन में बोला हुआ है कि कौन से कंपाउंड का ओजोनोलिसिस प्रोडक्ट 5 कीटो 2 मिथाइल हेक्सेनल है. 5 कीटो 2 मिथाइल हेक्सेनल है. ओके, सो यू हैव टू चेक वाया ऑप्शंस. सभी का ओजोनोलिसिस करके आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा. आपको पता है कि ओजोनोलिसिस में जब आप एल्कीन का रिडक्टिव ओजोनोलिसिस करते हो तो सिंपली डबल बॉन्ड को कट करके दोनों तरफ ऑक्सीजन ऐड कर देते हो. तो यहां से सारे आप ऐसे कर लो. तो देखिए ये तो बिल्कुल क्लियरली कट गया क्योंकि इसके अंदर 2 कीटोन बन रहे हैं और दोनों कीटोन नहीं है, एक हेक्सेनल है, इसका मतलब एक एल्डिहाइडिक ग्रुप है. ऑलराइट, अब इस पे आ जाते हैं. इन्होंने बोला है 2 मिथाइल हेक्सेनल. तो यहाँ पे जैसे ये CHO में कन्वर्ट होगा तो 2 पे मिथाइल नहीं लगा हुआ है, तो ये भी आंसर नहीं हुआ. इस पे आ जाते हैं, ये तो होगा ही नहीं आंसर. अब आंसर फिलहाल आपके पास डी बचा है देने के लिए. अब डी में भी यदि चेक करोगे तो देखो यहाँ पे आएगा CHO, फिर सेकंड पे मिथाइल लगा हुआ है, थर्ड 4 5 पे अगेन 5 एंड देन 6. तो 5 पे कीटो हो गया, ये 5 कार्बन है, 5 पे कीटो हो गया, 2 पे मिथाइल हो गया हेक्सेनल. सो जो डी ऑप्शन है उसमें जो स्ट्रक्चर बना है ये बेसिकली गिवन कंडीशन को फुलफिल करता है. सो डी इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, इस क्वेश्चन में हमारे पास कुछ कार्बोनियम आयंस दिए हुए हैं. क्वेश्चन में पूछा है हाउ मेनी ऑफ दीज कार्बोकेटायंस आर मोर स्टेबल देन एलाइल कार्बोकेटायन. तो यहाँ पे कुछ तो फैक्ट बेस्ड है और कुछ कंसेप्ट में कंसेप्ट अप्लाई करके आप पता कर सकते हैं. लाइक एक फैक्ट इसमें ये यूज किया है कि जो टर्शरी कार्बोनियम आयन होता है, टर्शरी ब्यूटाइल कार्बोनियम आयन, ये एक्चुअली बेंजाइल और एलाइल दोनों से ज्यादा स्टेबल होता है. राइट, प्राइमरी बेंजाइल और प्राइमरी एलाइल की बात करें तो इन्होंने बोला है कि मोर स्टेबल दैन एलाइल. तो एक तो आपका टर्शरी हो गया, राइट, एक आपका बेंजाइल हो गया, एक आपका ये वाला कंपाउंड हो गया, इसमें OMe ग्रुप लगा है. दिस OMe ग्रुप इज स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रॉन रिलीजिंग ग्रुप. तो ये एक्चुअली रेजोनेंस के थ्रू ऐसा एक कटायन बना लेगा जहां पे सभी एटम का ऑक्टेट कंप्लीट है, विच गिव्स मैक्सिमम स्टेबिलिटी टू दिस कार्बोनियम आयन. ये नहीं होगा. और ये आपका है CPM, ये बहुत बदनाम कार्बोकेटायन है. सबको पता है कि जो साइक्लोप्रोपाइल मिथाइल कार्बोकेटायन होता है, बिकॉज ऑफ डांसिंग रेजोनेंस इट हैज अ हाई, वेरी हाई स्टेबिलिटी, इवन हायर, मोर स्टेबल देन एलाइल कार्बोनियम आयन. राइट, तो ये भी एक आंसर में आ गया. तो कुल मिला के टोटल हो गए 4. योर आंसर सी इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, दिस क्वेश्चन इज एक्चुअली बेस्ड ऑन फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स. वर्क डन निकालना है बेसिकली. वर्क डन इन अर्थ for reversible expansion of 1 mole of an ideal gas from 10 liter to 20 liter at 25 degrees centigrade. So reversible isothermal expansion में work done calculate करना है. We already know. अब W जो होता है that is minus 2.303 nRT log V2 upon V1. जस्ट आपको वैल्यू रखनी है एंड बस ये ध्यान रखना कि यहाँ पे अर्ग में कैलकुलेट करना है. तो अगर मैं R को जूल की यूनिट में यूज करता हूँ तो 10 पावर 7 का एक मल्टीपल एक कन्वर्जन फैक्टर लगा दिया. तो बस अब वैल्यू रख दो आप. 2.303, N की वैल्यू है 1 मोल, राइट, 1 मोल, और R को आप 8.314 ले लो एंड टेम्परेचर इज 298 log 20 upon 10 into 10 raised to the power 7. Just calculate, you will get this answer. 0.298 दिया हुआ दिख रहा है, एक्चुअली इससे मैच कर रहा है. राइट, सो ये आपका अर्ग में आ जाएगा. 10 पावर 7 का मल्टीप्लिकेशन फैक्टर ऑलरेडी हमने लगा दिया है जूल की वैल्यू को अर्ग में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए. गॉट इट, डन. ये क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली वैलेंस शेल इलेक्ट्रॉन पे रिपल्सन थ्योरी पे बेस्ड है. वैलेंशियल इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर रिपल्सन थ्योरी में हम लोग पढ़ते हैं कि लोन पेयर रिपल्सन सबसे अधिक होता है एंड लोन पेयर बॉन्ड पेयर रिपल्सन से कम होता है, बीपी रिपल्सन और कम होता है। एंड दीज काइंड ऑफ रिपल्सन एक्चुअली डिसाइड्स द ज्योमेट्री एज वेल एज बॉन्ड एंगल इन अ गिवन मॉलिक्यूल। तो यहाँ पे 2 मॉलिक्यूल गिवन है, SF4, इनफैक्ट 3 मॉलिक्यूल गिवन है, SF4 है एक हमने आर्बिट्ररी ज्योमेट्री बना लिया है SF4, एक लोन पेयर यहाँ बचेगा एंड SOF4, यहाँ पे कोई लोन पेयर नहीं है एंड COF2। ये आपके पास 3 मॉलिक्यूल हैं, इनके बारे में ही ऑप्शंस में दिया हुआ है, तो हमें फाइंड आउट करना है द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। इक्वेटोरियल SF बॉन्ड एंगल इन SO4 इज लेस देन। अब ये जो आपका SF4 और SOF4 है ना, ये बेसिकली TBP ज्योमेट्री होता है। तो जब हम TBP ज्योमेट्री बनाते हैं तो आप सबको पता है कि लोन पेयर हैज टू बी प्लेस्ड एट इक्वेटोरियल पोजीशन। तो लोन पेयर को इक्वेटोरियल पोजीशन पे यहाँ भी रख दिया एंड SOF4 में डबल बॉन्ड यहाँ रख दिया, अगेन ये ज्योमेट्री हो गया। ऑलराइट, अब यहाँ पे जो रिपल्सन लग रहा है इन SF4, दिस इज लोन पेयर बॉन्ड पेयर, और यहाँ पे लग रहा है पाई बॉन्ड एंड सिग्मा बॉन्ड का रिपल्सन, तो ऑब्वियसली लोन पेयर का रिपल्सन ज्यादा होता है। तो कमिंग टू द ऑप्शंस, इक्वेटोरियल बॉन्ड की बात कर रहे हैं, यानी इस वाले बॉन्ड की बात कर रहे हैं, तो यहाँ लोन पेयर सिग्मा बॉन्ड का रिपल्सन है, यहाँ पे पाई बॉन्ड सिग्मा बॉन्ड का रिपल्सन है एंड लोन पेयर सिग्मा बॉन्ड का रिपल्सन इज मोर। सो यहाँ लेस लिखा हुआ है, इसलिए ये करेक्ट ऑप्शन नहीं हुआ, बिकॉज while repulsion between sigma bonded इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर एंड लोन पेयर, जो एंगल होगा वो कम हो जाएगा, ये एंगल कम हो जाएगा। ठीक है, हाइब्रिडाइजेशन स्टेट ऑफ सल्फर इन SF4 SO4 डिफरेंट है, ये भी गलत है, दोनों में sp3d हाइब्रिडाइजेशन है, तो ये ऑप्शन सही नहीं है। द बॉन्ड एंगल इन FCO विल बी मोर देन 120 इन दिस FCO, ये वाला बॉन्ड मोर देन 120 होगा, ऑब्वियस है, बिकॉज 120 ये sp2 हाइब्रिडाइज्ड है एक्चुअली। अब sp2 हाइब्रिडाइज में यदि टर्मिनल एटम सारे एक जैसे होते देन बॉन्ड एंगल कुड हैव बीन perfectly 120, but since sigma single bond and double bond and single bond repulsion is slightly more, because of that FCO bond जो है वो बड़ा हो जाएगा, तो will be more, yes this is correct. The axial FSF bond angle in SF4 is 180 degree, not possible, क्योंकि ये 180 तब होता जब यहाँ लोन पेयर नहीं होता, इस लोन पेयर का इस बॉन्ड पेयर से कुछ तो रिपल्सन होगा, तो ये बॉन्ड एकदम सीधा होना चाहिए, थोड़ा टिल्ट हो जाएगा, टिल्ट होने की वजह से परफेक्ट 180 डिग्री का एंगल नहीं आएगा, तो ये भी इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है। ऑलराइट, दिस इज अनदर ब्यूटीफुल क्वेश्चन ऑफ केमिकल इक्विलिब्रियम। यहाँ पे एक्चुअली दिया हुआ है H2S का डिसोसिएशन होकर के हाइड्रोजन और एसिड बन रहा है, और एक छोटा सा इंफॉर्मेशन दिया हुआ है, मोल्स ऑफ हाइड्रोजन अपॉन H2S इन इक्विलिब्रियम इज सेम एज मोल्स ऑफ H2S अपॉन हाइड्रोजन इन द बिगिनिंग, और आपको उसके बेसिस पे यहाँ पे आंसर देना है। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट। क्वेश्चन है 8H2S चेंजिंग इनटू 8H2 प्लस S8, राइट, ये आपका सॉलिड है, बाकी सब गैस है, यानी जितना मोल H2S रिएक्ट करेगा उतना ही मोल आपका हाइड्रोजन बनेगा, बिकॉज ऑफ सेम स्टोइशियोमेट्री। तो 2 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर से शुरू किया है, मान लो इसमें से X रिएक्ट कर गया, तो ये X बन जाएगा एट अ प्रेशर ऑफ 4 atm, राइट, यहाँ 4 atm दिया हुआ है, इट्स नॉट 2 atm। A vessel contain hydrogen at 2 atm, that means initially this is at 2 atm. When H2S at pressure of 4 atm is introduced, ये 4 atm पे ऐड करा है, राइट, दैट्स इट। और टेम्परेचर 2000 केल्विन दिया हुआ है, आपको बताना है इन ऑप्शंस में से कौन सा करेक्ट है। तो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड, जब ये इक्विलिब्रियम एस्टैब्लिश हुआ, क्योंकि इनिशियली सल्फर नहीं था, तो ये रिएक्शन फॉरवर्ड में जाएगी, तो इसमें से X गया और यहाँ पे X बन गया। ठीक, ये प्रेशर का रेशियो है, जो प्रेशर का रेशियो होगा इन दोनों में वही मोल का रेशियो होगा। इनिशियली इनका मोल रेशियो कितना है हाइड्रोजन और H2S का, 2/4 मस्ट बी इक्वल टू H2S अपॉन हाइड्रोजन, यानी कि 4 - X डिवाइडेड बाई 2 + X। यहाँ से आप X निकाल सकते हो, X निकल आएगा, एंड क्योंकि इसमें डेल्टा n 0 है तो Kp और Kc दोनों सेम होंगे, एंड वाइल राइटिंग Kc सिंस डेल्टा n इज 0 वॉल्यूम विल नॉट कम इनटू पिक्चर, तो सीधे मोल यूज कर सकते हैं आप, और इक्विलिब्रियम पे मोल आपको पता है, दैट इज 2 + X रेज टू द पावर 8 अपॉन 4 - X रेज टू द पावर 8। अब आपको X का वैल्यू यहाँ से निकाल के वहां डाल देना है, दिस वे व्हेन यू कैलकुलेट यू विल गेट योर आंसर Kp = 256। तो एक ऑप्शन तो आपका मैच कर गया। अगर ये JEE मेन या नीट का क्वेश्चन है तो उसमें तो ऑप्शन का कोई दिक्कत है ही नहीं, क्योंकि सिंगल ऑप्शन ही करेक्ट होते हैं, तो एक आंसर तो आपका आ गया। ठीक है, ये स्टेटमेंट गलत है क्योंकि डेल्टा एन जीरो है तो केपी एंड केसी आर सेम. मैक्सिमम वेट ऑफ सॉलिड इज 32 ग्राम. वेट कैन नॉट बी कैलकुलेटेड क्योंकि ओनली प्रेशर इज गिवन एंड to calculate moles or weight we need the volume of container. Volume of container is not given in the question, so we cannot calculate mole, we cannot calculate weight of any component. All right. दिस इज अ सिंपल क्वेश्चन बेस्ड ऑन मोल कंसेप्ट और स्टोइचियोमेट्री ऑफ केमिकल रिएक्शंस, जहां पे हम लोग एक रिएक्टेंट की हेल्प से दूसरे रिएक्टेंट का क्वांटिटी इन टर्म्स ऑफ वेट और मोल और वॉल्यूम व्हाटएवर कैलकुलेट करते हैं. तो क्वेश्चन है बेसिकली 0.05 मोल ऑफ BaCl2 इज मिक्स्ड विद 0.2 मोल ऑफ सोडियम फॉस्फेट. मैक्सिमम मोल्स ऑफ बेरियम फॉस्फेट कैन बी फॉर्म्ड. ऑलराइट, तो एक बार रिएक्शन लिख लेते हैं. BaCl2 प्लस Na3PO4 और इसको जब आप बैलेंस करोगे Ba3PO4 होल ट्वाइस प्लस NaCl, राइट. तो बेसिकली ये ना लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट पे बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है. आपको BaCl2 का मोल दिया है 0.5 एंड Na3PO4 का मोल दिया है 0.2 एंड क्योंकि यहाँ पे 3 लेना पड़ेगा मुझे, इसके लिए फॉस्फेट मुझे 2 चाहिए तो NaCl मेरा 6 हो जाएगा. ऑलराइट, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे अगर मैं ये पता करने की कोशिश करूँ लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट कौन है, चेक करिए. अगर मैं 2 को 0.2 को 2 से डिवाइड कर दूं 0.1 आ जाएगा एंड 0.5 को 3 से डिवाइड कर दो तो ये 0.1 से ज्यादा आएगा. सो Na3PO4 इज गोइंग टू बी द लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट. दिस हाउ वी कैलकुलेट लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट. लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट निकालने के लिए स्टोइचियोमेट्रिक वैल्यू निकालनी पड़ती है हर एक रिएक्टेंट की, विच इज इक्वल टू अवेलेबल मोल्स डिवाइडेड बाय स्टोइचियोमेट्रिक कोएफिशिएंट. तो पॉइंट ये Na3PO4 लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट है और मुझे बताना है मैक्सिमम मोल्स ऑफ दिस. एंड यू कैन चेक 1 मोल ऑफ दिस कंपाउंड इज एक्चुअली गिविंग half mole of this compound. So moles of Ba3PO4 whole twice is equal to half the moles of Na3PO4. तो ये हो गया आपका हाफ और इसके मोल दिए हैं 0.1 0.2. So you will get your answer 0.1. Alright, 0.1 मोल मैक्सिमम 0.1 मोल बन पाएंगे बिकॉज कंप्लीट रिएक्शन दूसरे रिएजेंट का नहीं हो रहा है. ऑलराइट, दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बेस्ड ऑन बफर सोल्यूशन. आयनिक इक्विलिब्रियम का क्वेश्चन है, बफर सोल्यूशन की कंसेप्ट पे बेस्ड है, बट एकदम स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन नहीं है. क्वेश्चन के अंदर बफर सोल्यूशन के बारे में बताया हुआ है और इसमें HCl डाल के पूछा है कि नए सोल्यूशन का आफ्टर एडिशन ऑफ HCl pH कितना होगा. तो सोल्यूशन एक्चुअली कंटेन 0.3 मोलर NH4 प्लस एंड 0.2 मोलर NH4OH. दिस इज NH4OH एक्चुअली. pKb is given as 4.74, right? And 0.01 molar HCl is added to this particular solution. So when HCl is added to a solution containing NH4OH and NH4Cl, HCl being an acid will react with NH4OH. तो जब ये NH4OH से react करेगा to form NH4Cl plus H2O, right? NH4OH को straight away मैं ले लेता हूँ. NH4OH is 0.2 actually. सीधे मैंने मोल ले लिया because volume कोई फर्क डालता नहीं है. You can convert into millimole and try the reaction between millimoles of HCl and millimole of NH4OH. But straight away मैंने molarity को मोल के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ले लिया. वॉल्यूम कुछ भी मान लो आप भी. ये 0.2 है और HCl हमने लिया है 0.01, right? Now this will be 0.2 minus 0.01 and this will be 0.01. NH4Cl ऑलरेडी मेरे पास 0.3 है, राइट? तो ये बचेगा 0.19 और ये हो जाएगा 0.31. ऑलराइट, नाउ वी कैन अप्लाई POH इज इक्वल टू PKB प्लस लॉग ऑफ NH4 प्लस NH4OH, राइट? PKB is given as 4.74 plus log of NH4 plus finally becomes 0.31 divided by 0.19. This comes out to be roughly 4.95. So this is the pH of solution we have calculated. A pOH of solution we have calculated. Now pH is going to be 14 minus pOH. This comes out to be 14 minus 4.95. So it is 9.05. Right? So this is the final answer of the question. It's a good question where they have applied the concept of adding a strong acid or a strong base in a buffer solution. Okay. Another question of पीरियोडिक प्रॉपर्टी चैप्टर, यहाँ पे कुछ पीरियोडिक प्रॉपर्टी के बारे में बोला गया है और आपसे पूछा है कि कौन कौन से स्टेटमेंट्स करेक्ट होंगे। द रेडियस ऑफ एन एनायन इज लार्जर देन दैट ऑफ करस्पॉन्डिंग एटम, ट्रू। Ionization energy increases from left to right in a period generally, they are asking about generally, not leaving the exception actually. So generally due to increase of nuclear charge, ionization energy increases, that's true. And electronegativity of an element is a tendency of isolated atom, ये wrong है। Electronegativity is always defined in a bonded state, we always define it like this, the tendency or the ability of an atom to attract shared pair of electron in a covalent bond is called as electronegativity. So ionization enthalpy is defined in isolated atom, electron gain enthalpy is defined for isolated atom, but electronegativity is always defined in the bonded state. Okay, so 1 and 2 statement are correct only, third is wrong, so your answer is C. All right, दिस क्वेश्चन इज एक्चुअली फ्रॉम द चैप्टर ऑफ बायोमोलिक्यूल्स, अमीनो एसिड का क्वेश्चन है। अमीनो एसिड के बारे में कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन दी हुई है, वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट व्हिच स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू, नॉट ट्रू इन फैक्ट। अल्फा कार्बन ऑफ अल्फा अमीनो एसिड इज एसिमेट्रिक एक्सेप्ट ग्लाइसिन, एक्चुअली इन जनरल अल्फा अमीनो एसिड्स आर having this kind of structure, right? Now since one carbon is always chiral except in case when R is equal to H where glycine is there, right? So only in case of glycine symmetry is lost, so asymmetric carbon नहीं होगा, so this is going to be a true statement. All naturally occurring proteins are found to be in L form, yes, natural amino acids are found to be having L configuration. Human body can synthesize all non-essential proteins they need, that is also correct. At pH 7 both amino acid and carboxylic acid exist in the ionized form, this is not correct. When we talk about amino acids, different forms of amino acid, whether it is ketonic form or anionic form or neutral form, zwitterionic form, so different type of structure actually exist in different pH value of the solution. So they are straightaway saying that at pH 7 both the amino and carboxylic acids are ionized, that is not correct. So your answer is D. All right, this is the correct statement, so will not be the answer. All right, in the given question we need to check which reaction has major product written in the right hand side of the reaction. All right, so we have to find out the combo from the given options. So let's check each and every reaction carefully. Like the first reaction is actually hydroboration oxidation. We all know hydroboration oxidation में जो final product बनता है that will be addition of water according to anti-Markovnikov rule. I mean जो मार्कोनिकॉफ रूल का उल्टा प्रोडक्ट होता है बेसिकली वो बनता है, एंड सिन एडिशन है तो H and OH डबल बॉन्ड के सेम साइड में आएंगे। नाउ लुक एट दिस, यहाँ पे एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ इज जस्टिफाइड, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट H and OH आर नॉट इन द सेम साइड, सो दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी द करेक्टली मैच्ड। ऑलराइट, इन द सेकंड वन BD3THF, when you add BD3, D will be coming out here and BD2 will be coming out here, ये डबल बॉन्ड चला जाएगा, and then when you carry out oxidation then BD2 will be converted into OH, so product is correctly matched as per structure and it is a syn addition, so D and OH are coming in the same side, this is a correct one. And the third one is actually alkoxy mercuration demercuration. So alkoxy mercuration demercuration is a kind of reaction where alkoxy group has to go at the carbon where more stable carbonyl ion is expected, right? So Markovnikov product has to be formed. All right, so it's correctly matched. OCH3 is coming at the middle carbon and H is at the terminal carbon, so there is absolutely no problem in this is also correct. Fourth one is simply addition of water via carbonyl ion mechanism. So when you add H plus in this compound you will get initial carbonyl ion this followed by a hydride shift to get more stable carbonyl ion, this one, and then OH H2O will attack, H plus will go to form this particular product as a major product which is not there in the answer. All right, so this will not match, so 2 and 3 is going to be the most correct combination having correctly matched major product, so C is the correct answer. All right, this question is actually based on again properties of fluorine atom with respect to other atoms of the same group. So which of the following properties are higher for fluorine than expected with respect to other halogen atoms? Ionization enthalpy, yes, it is higher than chlorine, bromine, iodine. इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी हाईएस्ट होती है पूरी पीरियोडिक टेबल के अंदर एज अ फैक्ट. Electrode potential is highest in the entire electrochemical series. So fluorine has highest tendency to get reduced. So its oxidation potential is, its oxidizing tendency is very less. Therefore, its reduction potential is going to be highest among all other halogens. This is also correct. Ionic and covalent radii are actually less. So this is not going to be the correct one. Melting and boiling point highest नहीं होता. बॉन्ड एसोसिएशन, एक्चुअली बॉन्ड एसोसिएशन एनर्जी हाईएस्ट क्लोरीन की होती है. इफ यू रिमेंबर तो क्लोरीन देन आयोडीन, ये बॉन्ड एसोसिएशन एनर्जी ऑर्डर होता है. फ्लोरीन बीइंग स्मॉलेस्ट इन साइज, इसका लोन पेयर रिपल्सन बहुत ज्यादा होता है. एज अ रिजल्ट बॉन्ड कमजोर हो जाता है. इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एंथैल्पी क्लोरीन की हाईएस्ट होती है, आपको पता है. हैलोजेंस में या जो थर्ड पीरियड के एलिमेंट होते हैं उसी ग्रुप में उनका इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एंथैल्पी हाईएस्ट होता है. तो ये करेक्ट नहीं है. तो करेक्ट मैचिंग विल बी 1, 2 and 3. So B is going to be the correct answer of this question. This question is actually from organic chemistry. कीटोन के बारे में बताया हुआ है. एसिटोफिनोन एक टाइप का कीटोन है. एसिटोफिनोन इज एक्चुअली दिस. आपको इसके बारे में बताना है कि कौन कौन से स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट हैं. It is reduced to methyl phenyl carbinol by सोडियम एंड इथेनॉल. करेक्ट बताना या इनकरेक्ट बताना? रॉन्ग बताना है एक्चुअली. यस, तो फर्स्ट वन इज करेक्ट. आप सोडियम की रिएक्शन करा दो, सोडियम प्लस इथेनॉल, तो इट विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू अल्कोहल. तो ये करेक्ट है. फर्स्ट वन इज करेक्ट. इट इज ऑक्सीडाइज्ड टू बेंजोइक एसिड विद एसिडिफाइड केमेनोफोर. सिंस इट इज कीटोन, कीटोन्स कैन नॉट बी ऑक्सीडाइज्ड. Ketones cannot be oxidized in general, but this is actually a ketone where aromatic ring is connected. So whenever you treat this with KMnO4, you will get it oxidized into benzoic acid. This is a correct statement. In general, ketones cannot be easily oxidized under normal conditions, but benzoic acid में चला जाएगा. तो ये correct है. ये भी correct है. Coming to third one. It does not undergo electrophilic substitution like nitration at meta position. It does not undergo electrophilic. It does not क्यों लिखा हुआ है? Since this is supposed to be a meta directing group, so incoming electrophile, no matter what is nitration, it will come only at meta position ना. ये मेटा पोजीशन पे ही होगा. तो ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है. डज नॉट की वजह से ये गलत हो गया. मेटा पोजीशन पे इलेक्ट्रोफिलिक एरोमेटिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन होगा. तो एक ऑप्शन आपका थर्ड आ जाएगा. इट डज नॉट अंडरगो आयोडोफॉर्म रिएक्शन विद आयोडीन एंड एल्कली. आयोडोफॉर्म के लिए जो एसेंशियल स्ट्रक्चर है वो है इसमें, तो आयोडोफॉर्म टेस्ट देगा. तो ये स्टेटमेंट जो है डज नॉट लिखा हुआ ये भी गलत हो गया. तो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी 3 and 4, यानी कि सी इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर. ऑलराइट. This is a simple IUPAC nomenclature based question. If you know the rule, easily it can be done. क्वेश्चन में जो कंपाउंड गिवन है वो COOH लगा हुआ है. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द मेन फंक्शनल ग्रुप एंड सिंस दिस इज अ चेन टर्मिनेटिंग ग्रुप, आपका नंबरिंग यहां से शुरू होगा. राइट. 1 then 2 then 3 then 4 then 5 then 6. 6 पे आपका हाइड्रोक्सी ग्रुप लगा हुआ है. तो 6 हाइड्रोक्सी, यानी दो ऑप्शन तो वैसे ही कट गए. 6 हाइड्रोक्सी एंड 3 पे लगा हुआ है प्रोप 1 इनाइल. यहाँ पे 4 लगा, यहाँ पे 3 लगा है. तो अच्छा, तो ये तो वैसे ही करेक्ट आंसर नहीं है. 3 प्रोप 1 इनाइल ए में भी है, डी में भी है. Hexa and hex, it's going to be hexa 2,4 dienoic acid. So this is going to be the correct answer. All right. जब भी डाइन ट्राइन होता है ना तो हेक्सा, पेंटा, ब्यूटा, इस तरह से हम लोग nomenclature यूज करते हैं. So D is going to be the correct one. This question is actually based on the रिडक्शन ऑफ कार्बोनिल कंपाउंड इनटू CH2 ग्रुप. इस टाइप का दो रिएक्शन होता है. एक तो क्लेमेंसन्स रिडक्शन जहां पे जिंक एंड कॉन्सेंट्रेट HCl यूज करते हैं, और एक होता है वुल्फ-किश्नर रिडक्शन जहां पे हाइड्रोजन एंड KOH यूज करते हैं. तो बेसिकली मान लीजिए मैंने आपका एल्डिहाइड ले लिया एंड इन द वुल्फ-किश्नर रिडक्शन फर्स्ट स्टेप इन्वॉल्व अटैक ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एट कार्बोनिल कंपाउंड फॉलोड बाय रिमूवल ऑफ वाटर. So after removal of water, intermediate compound formed will be this one. Okay. And further reaction जब आप कराओगे OH माइनस एंड यहाँ से नाइट्रोजन निकलेगा फाइनली एंड H प्लस आएगा. फाइनली जब H2O से ये प्रोटॉन ले लेगा तो ये CH2 में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. ऑलराइट. सो क्वेश्चन में यही पूछा है कि इंटरमीडिएट यानी पहले कौन सा इंटरमीडिएट बनेगा. तो फर्स्ट इंटरमीडिएट फॉर्म्ड इज this one. This is the only intermediate that is formed during this chemical reaction. All right. So your D option is going to be correct. This is another simple question based on the titration between FeSO4 and KMnO4. Alright, question है a solution of 10 ml 1 by 10 molar FeSO4 was titrated with KMnO4 solution in acidic medium. The amount of KMnO4 used will be, that means they are asking about volume and molarity. So simply we can apply the concept of equivalence, law of equivalence. So can we write milli equivalence of FeSO4 is equal to milli equivalence of KMnO4. Milli equivalents of FeSO4 will be 1 by 10 molar. Its N factor will be 1 because iron 2 will be oxidized to iron 3. And 10 ml इसका वॉल्यूम है. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वॉल्यूम, ये कुछ दिया नहीं है, सिंपली मैं लिख रहा हूं मिली इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ KMnO4. तो यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट from the options, you need to find out the option which contain 1 milli equivalent of KMnO4. तो चेक करते हैं. KMnO4 has N factor 5 in acidic medium. If acidic medium is not mentioned, we can presume it is acidic medium, though it is mentioned. So this will contain 5 into 0.1 into 5. This is certainly not going to be 1 milli equivalent. This is 10 into 0.1 into 5. This is also not 1 milli equivalent. This is 10 into 0.5 into 5. This 5 is actually multiplied for converting molarity into normality because KMnO4 का N factor acidic medium में 5 होता है. Alright, and 10 ml of 0.02. This is going to be your correct answer. 0.02 into 5 will come out to be 1 milli equivalent. So your correct answer is going to be D. Alright, done.
Hi everyone, I am Firoz Khan, Master Teacher of Mathematics here at Vedantu. So in today's video, we are going to discuss the mathematics paper which was conducted very recently. So let's see the question on your screen. And it is based on circle. You are given a point P 0, -2. Q is any point on this circle. So what will be the maximum value of PQ whole square, right? So if you check 0, -2, just put x is equal to 0, y is equal to -2 in this circle, so you are getting positive value, means this P point is actually outside the circle. So let's say this is your circle. Let's say this is your circle. And P is a point outside the circle. And Q is a point on the circle, and PQ should be maximum. So obviously what you will do, you will simply draw a normal from the point P to the circle. To the farthest point from P on the circle is this point. So this point will be Q here. If you have to find maximum PQ, so Q must be at this point, means at the other end of the normal drawn through the point P. Let's say center of the circle is C. P point we already know 0, -2. Center you can easily find. Center of the circle is what? Center of the circle is 5 by 2, 1 by 2. 5 by 2, 1 by 2. Let's find the radius of the circle. The radius of the circle is under root 25 by 4 plus 1 by 4 minus 5. 25 by 4 plus 1 by 4, so 26 by 4 minus 5. So 26 minus 20 under root 6 by 4. Or you can say it is root 6 by 2, the radius. So what will be the maximum PQ? Maximum PQ will be PC plus CQ, which is radius of the circle. Now let's find PC distance first. The PC distance will be what? Distance of the point P and C. Distance between the point P and C. So PC distance is what? Under root 5 by 2 minus 0, 25 by 4. Then 1 by 2 plus 2. 1 by 2 plus 2 is again 5 by 2, so 25 by 4. Plus CQ is root 6 by 2. So it is root 50 by 2. Plus root 6 by 2. Maximum PQ is root 50 plus root 6 by 2. So it is root 50 plus root 6 over 2. But they are asking maximum of PQ square. So just square this thing. So if you square, you will get 50 plus 6 plus 2 under root 150 divided by 4. So it is 56 plus under root 50 is actually 25 into 6. 25 into 6. So it will become what? 25. Root of 25 is 5. So 10 root 6 divided by 4. Divide by 2. So it is basically what? It is basically 28 plus 5 root 6. Yes, it is 50 plus 6. So 56. So 28 plus 5 root 6 by 2. But we don't have 28 plus 5 root 6 by 4 in the options. Let me check the calculation error if I've done any. So P point is what? 0, comma, minus 2, right? Q is any point on the circle. Center of the circle is 5 by 2, comma, 1 by 2. Absolutely correct. Radius is under root G square 25 by 4. F square 1 by 4 minus C. So 26 by 4 minus 20. So root 6 by 4, root 6 by 2. PC distance is 5 by 2 minus 0, 25 by 4. 1 by 2 plus 2. 1 by 2 plus 2 again 25 by 4. CQ distance is radius, which is root 6 by 2. So 25 and 25, 50, root 50 by 2 plus root 6 by 2. Absolutely correct. Square will be 50 plus 6. And then 2 under root of 15 to 6 is 300. My bad. And 300, so I can take 100 outside. So 20 root 3 here. 20 root 3 by. So it is 56. Root 100 is 10. 20 root 3 by 4. Now if I divide by 4, so it is 14 plus 5 root 3. Means option C should be the correct option, right? Okay, see this question. This is from differentiation. So f of x plus 1 is x times fx. Then another function gx is log fx. You have to get mod g double dash 5 minus g double dash 1. Mod of g double dash 5 minus. So basically you have to differentiate gx function 2 times. So see, f of x plus 1 is x fx and gx is this function. So if I find g of x plus 1, g of x plus 1 is log f of x plus 1 and log, I can write f of x plus 1 from this information as x fx. So this is log x fx and log x fx can be written as log x plus log fx. So it is log x plus log fx. That means g of x plus 1 is log x plus gx. Log fx can be replaced with gx. So I got g of x plus 1 minus gx is equal to log x. So finally I'm getting this g of x plus 1 minus gx is log x. Now if I differentiate it 2 times, the first derivative will be g dash x plus 1 minus g dash x 1 over x. Differentiate again. So g double dash x plus 1 minus g double dash x is minus 1 over x square. Now since I need g double dash 5 minus g double dash 1, so let's take its summation x varying from 1 to 4. Here also take the summation x varying from 1 to 4. So now the left hand side is telescopic sum. If when you put x varying from 1 to 4, every term will cancel and you will get only g double dash 5 minus g double dash 1. Just put x is equal to 1 to 4 and add. You will see that all terms gets cancelled and you are left with g double dash 5 minus g double dash. And the right hand side is basically minus 1 over 1 square plus 1 over 2 square plus 1 over 3 square plus 1 over 4 square. And since you need its mod, so just take mod both sides. So when you take mod both sides, so this will be your final answer. And now it is easy to calculate. Just calculate it. So your final answer will become option C, which is 205 by 205 over 144. So your final answer is basically 205 over 144 here, which is option D. So after calculation, it comes out to be 205 over 144. Right? Next question is based on quadratic remainder theorem and integration. So concept of quadratic remainder theorem and integration will be used here. So you are given a quadratic px and 0 to 1 px dx is 1. When px is divided by x minus 2, then remainder is 5. So you have to get 9 times b plus c. So first they have given that when I divide px by x minus 2, remainder is 5. So when you are dividing px by x minus 2, obviously by remainder theorem, remainder will be p2. When you are dividing px by x minus 2, remainder will be p2. And this remainder is given to you as 5. Now p2 is what? p2 is 4 plus 2b plus c. It is 5. So from here, you got 2b plus c is equal to 1. Suppose it number. One more information is given. If I am integrating 0 to 1, px means x square plus bx plus c dx. So this integration is basically 1. Now let's integrate it. So you will get x cube by 3 plus bx square by 2 plus cx 0 to 1. Now if you substitute the limit, so you are getting 1 by 3 plus b by 2 plus c is equal to 1. So this gives you b by 2 plus c is equal to 2 by 3. Suppose it number 2. Now let's solve equation 1 and 2 to get b and c. So if you subtract equation 2 from equation 1, so 2b minus b by 2, that is 3b by 2. 1 minus 2 by 3 is 1 by 3. So this gives you b is equal to 2 by 9. And when you put b is equal to 2 by 9, so c will be 1 minus 4 by 9, which is 5 by 9. Now they are asking what? They are asking 9 times b plus c. B is 2 by 9, C is 5 by 9. So B plus C will be 7 by 9. And hence this value is 7. So option C should be the correct option here, right? 7. This question is based on differential equations and area. Two homogeneous differential equations are given. So first you have to solve the two differential equations to get two curves, one from each equation, and then area enclosed by those two curves. Slightly lengthy question, not slightly, it's a very lengthy question in fact, because you have to solve two differential equations first, and both are homogeneous differential equations. So it will take time to solve each, and then you will get two curves, and then you have to find the area also, area enclosed by the two curves. So it's a lengthy question. So let's solve each equation one by one. See, the first differential equation I can write dy by dx is equal to y square minus x square by 2xy. Y square minus x square by 2xy. And you can see that it is basically a homogeneous differential equation. So to solve it, substitute y is equal to Vx. Now when you substitute y is equal to Vx here, so dy by dx will become x dv by dx plus v. And on the right side, if you substitute y is equal to Vx, the right side becomes v square minus 1 by 2v. So this gives you x dv by dx is v square minus 1 by 2v and then minus v. And this is what? This is minus v square minus 1 minus 2v square, so minus v square plus 1 by 2v. Now I can separate the two variables. I can write 2v dv over v square plus 1 minus dx over x. When you integrate, the left side is log v square plus 1, right side is minus log x plus some constant, let's say log c. When you remove log here, so you will get x times v square plus 1 is equal to c. Put v is equal to y by x, so you are getting x square plus y square is equal to cx. And since this curve is passing through the point 1 comma 1, so if I put x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1 here, so c will be 2. So basically you are getting a circle here, x square plus y square minus 2x0. This circle is passing through the origin. Its center is on the x-axis 1 comma 0 and radius is 1. Now let's solve the second curve. If I solve the second curve, the second curve is what? dy by dx is 2xy over x square minus y square. Same here also, this is also homogeneous. So if I substitute y is equal to Vx here, same I will get x dv by dx plus v. And on the right side, I will get 2v by 1 minus v square. Just put y is equal to Vx on the right and simplify. This is what you are getting. Now I can write x dv by dx (2v) over 1 minus v square and then minus v. If you simplify it, so it becomes 2v minus v, which is v, and plus v cube over 1 minus v square. Now it is variable separable. So if I separate the two variables here, so in the numerator I am getting 1 minus v square, and in the denominator I am getting v1 plus v square. dv is equal to dx by x. Now let's integrate. So in the left side, I can write this 1 minus v square. I can write this 1 minus v square on the left side. In the numerator, it can be written as 1 plus v square minus v square. In fact, minus 2v square. 1 plus v square minus 2v square over v1 plus v square. dv dx by x. Now if you solve it, so ultimately you are getting here 1 by v dv minus 2v over v square plus 1 dv dx by x. Now let's integrate. 1 by v, it is log v. 2v over v square plus 1, it is log v square plus 1. dx over x is log x. And plus some constant, let's say log k. So now if I remove the log here, so I'm getting on the left side, I'm getting v over v square plus 1. And on the right side, I am getting kx. V over v square plus 1 is equal to kx. It can also be written as v is equal to kx v square plus 1. Now if you replace v with y by x here, so you will get y is equal to k times x square plus y square. And since this curve is also passing through the point 1 comma 1, so if I put x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1 here, so k is half. So this curve becomes x square plus y square minus 2y0. So it is also a circle having center on the y-axis 0, 1, radius is 1, passing through origin. So we have two circles, both passing through the origin. Both radius 1, center, x-axis center for the first circle is on the x-axis 1, 0, for the second circle on the y-axis. Now we have to get the area enclosed between these two circles. So if I draw the figure, let me show you the figure straight away. So if I draw the figure, you will get this circle. Just look at the figure, ignore everything here, just look at the figure. You have two circles here, and area enclosed by this curve, these two circles, is this included area, the shaded area. Now you can see that if I draw this line, the common chord of the two circles, so area is symmetric about this line. So what I will do, I will just find this half area and double it, so I will get the total area. So my area is what? 2 times this half area, half leaf, this half leaf. Now how will you get this area? So this half leaf is basically what? It is basically, in fact, you can, this half leaf is basically a quarter circle of the upper, a quarter circle, and circle has radius 1. The complete area of the circle is pi, and we are taking a quarter circle of, in fact, we are taking this circle, upper circle, this one, circle having center on the y-axis. So if I take the quarter circle, the area will be pi by 4. And from this quarter circle, if I exclude this area, which I am shading right now, if I exclude this area of triangle, first I have taken complete quarter circle of the upper circle having center at 0, 1, so that is pi by 4, and then include this area which is shaded here. And this area is what? This area is simply a triangle of base length 1, altitude length 1, so this area will be half 1 into 1. So this is the area of this half leaf multiplied with 2. That means this will be your total area. The total area is basically pi by 2 minus 1. So no need to do the integration thing. Just ignore this integration part. You can calculate the area just geometrically, right? So next question is based on, this question is based on relations. So you are given an equivalence relation here, and AB is related with CD if AD is equal to BC. Then how many ordered pairs which satisfy this equivalence relation are related with 4, 3? So simply they are asking that how many pairs will be related with 4, 3. So you can see that AB is related with CD. AB is related with CD if AD is equal to BC, or you can say A over B is equal to C over D. So now you have to find how many pairs will be related with 4, 3. So that means, let's say X, Y is related with X, Y is related with 4, 3. So then X, Y, X over Y must be equal to 4 by 3. And then 4 by 3 can also be written as 8 by 6. It can also be written as 9 by 12. It can also be written as sorry, 4 into 2, not 9 by 12. 4 by 3, 8 by 6. Then I can write it as 12 by 9. 4 into 1, 4 into 2, 4 into 3. Then I can write it as 16 by 12. Then I can write it as 20 by 15. I can write it as 24 by 18. I can write it as 28 by 21. This is the last pair, 28 comma 21, because next one will become 32 by 24, but actually in the set A, I have elements up to 30 only. Up to 30 only. The last pair will be 28 comma 21. So actually 4 comma 3 will be related with 4 comma 3, 8 comma 6, 12 comma 9, 16 comma 12, 20 comma 15, 24 comma 16, 28 comma 21. How many pairs are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The total 7 pairs are related with 4 comma 3. Basically 4 into 1 till 4 into 7. Right? Let's see this question now. This is based on ellipse circle. So what they are saying here, the point of intersection of this ellipse and the circle lie on this curve. So basically the circle, the ellipse, the circle, and this curve y square is equal to 3x square, all of them are intersecting at the same point. The point of intersection of any two will be same, whether you take ellipse and circle or you take ellipse and this pair of line, y square is equal to 3x square, point of intersection will be same. So what I'm doing here, let's solve y square is equal to 3x square with the circle first. X square plus y square is equal to 4b. If I put y square is equal to 3x square here, so I'm getting x square plus 3x square 4b. So this gives you x square is equal to b. And if x square is b, the y square from here, x square is b, the y square will be 3b. And now this point must satisfy the ellipse also. So this point must satisfy this ellipse also. So put x square is equal to b, y square is equal to 3b in the ellipse. So you will get b by 16, then 3b by b square is equal to 1. So you are getting b by 16 plus 3b, 3 over b, 1. So this gives you b square minus 16b plus 48, 0. And this can be factorized as b minus 4, b minus 12. So hence b will be either 12 or 4. But they have given in the question that b must be greater than 4. So therefore this 4 is not possible. It will be rejected. So b will be 12 here. Means D is the correct option here. Sorry, not D. C. C is the correct option here. My bad. Right? This next question is from 3 dimension. You are given 2 lines here and lines are coplanar. So you have to get the values of A and B here. But lines are not written in standard form. So first I have to convert the lines in standard form. To the first line, I can write x over 1, y minus 1 over a divided by 1 over a, z minus 2 over 1. This is the first line. Second line, I can write x over 1, y minus 2 by 3 over 2 by 3, and z minus 2 over b over 1 over b. Let me repeat it once again. The first line is x over 1. Here if I divide both numerator and denominator by a, the y minus 1 over a, z minus 2 over 1. Here x by 1. Here I am dividing by 3, my bad. It is 1 by 3 here. Dividing by 3. So y minus 2 by 3 over 1 by 3 dividing by b, z minus 2 by b. Now since these lines are coplanar, so just use the coplanar condition. When you have two lines, let's say x minus x1 over a1, y minus y1 over b1, z minus z1 over c1. First line. Second line is let's say x minus x2 over a2, y minus y2 over b2, z minus z2 over c2. And if these two lines are coplanar, so what is the condition? You will form a determinant and put the determinant 0. How will you form the determinant? So in the first row, you will write x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2, z1 minus z2, means difference of the points on the two lines. In the second row, you will write the direction ratio of the first line, a1, b1, c1. In the third row, you will write the direction ratios of the second line, a2, b2, c2. So here, if these lines are coplanar, so I will put this determinant equal to 0. In the first row, I will take the difference of the 2 points, 0 minus 0, which is 0. Then 1 by a minus 2 by 3. Then 2 minus 2 by b. Then direction ratios of the two lines, so 1 by a, 1 by 3, 1 by b. Now no need to do anything. Just subtract a second row from the third row, or you can straight away expand. It's your choice. So when you expand this determinant, straight away, no need to do anything. Even if you expand it directly, so when you expand this determinant, ultimately you will get this square. You will get this condition. So when you expand the determinant, you are getting 1 over a is equal to 1 over ab. A and a cancel. So this gives you b is equal to 1. And since a cancel out, so that means that a can be any real number except 0. So hence your correct option will be b is 1 and a is any real number except 0. So just expand the determinant. You will get 1 over a minus 1 over ab 0. So this gives you b is equal to 1. A can be any real number, right? This next question is based on, just a minute. So this next question is based on determinant, and you have to find the maximum value of this determinant. So you can see that if I add first and second column, means in the first column I'm adding the second column. So the element of the first column becomes 2 here, 2 here, 1 here. And let's keep the remaining elements as it is. 1 plus cos square x, cos square x, cos square x. Then cos 2x, cos 2x, sin 2x. Now you can see that if from the first row, if I subtract the second row, the two elements of the first row will become 0. It will become 0 here. First minus second, it will become 1 here. From the first row, second one is subtracted. Then 0 here. And let's keep remaining elements as it is. 2 cos square x, cos 2x, 1 cos square x, sin 2x. Now just expand this determinant. When you expand this determinant through the first row, because in the first row I have 2 zeros, it is easy to expand. But will be the expansion minus times 2 into sin 2x minus cos 2x. So basically it is cos 2x minus 2 sin 2x. And now you can see that it is of the form a cos x plus b sin x. And you know that any trigonometric expression of the form a cos theta plus b sin theta, maximum value will be under root a square plus b square. Here a is 1, b is minus 2. So its maximum value will be under root a square plus b square, 1 plus 4 under root. So maximum is root 5 here. Right? Easy question. Let's see this question now. This is from vectors. You are given two vectors here, A and B, completely given. Then we have a vector equation, r cross A is equal to B cross R dot alpha I plus 2j plus k is 3. Then r dot 2I plus 5j minus alpha k is minus 1. So we have to get alpha plus mod r square, right? So first solve this given vector equation. What they are saying that r cross A minus B cross R is 0. I can also write it as r cross A plus r cross B is equal to 0. Minus B cross R can be written as plus r cross B. Now r can be taken common. So this is r cross A plus B 0. And you know that cross product of two vectors 0 means they are parallel vectors. So I can say that vector r must be parallel to A plus B, and hence I can take r vector as lambda times A plus B vector. That means I can take vector r as lambda times A plus B. What is A plus B? Just add A and B. So I plus 2I, 3I. Then 2j minus 3j minus j. Then minus 3k plus 5k, 2k. So this is vector r here. I plus 2I, 3I, 2j minus 3j minus j minus 3k plus 5k, 2k. Now let's use the second condition. If I take the dot product of r with alpha I plus 2j plus k, so it must be 3. So let's take the dot product here. Dot product of r with this vector. So I will get lambda alpha into 3, 3 alpha, 2 into minus 1, minus 2, 1 into 2 plus 2, 3. So this gives you lambda alpha is equal to 1. Lambda alpha is 1. Now one more condition is given. If I take the dot product of r with 2I plus 5j minus alpha k, so this dot product must be minus 1. Now let's take the dot product of r again with this vector 2I plus 5j minus k. So I will get lambda times 3 into 2, 6, minus 1 into 5, minus 5, 2 into minus alpha, minus 2 alpha. It is minus 1. So this gives you lambda minus 2 times lambda alpha, and lambda alpha is 1. So it is minus 1. So you are getting lambda is equal to 1. And when lambda is 1, so from here alpha is also 1. And when lambda is 1, the vector r is what? Vector r is 3I minus j plus 2k from here. So what will be mod r square? Mod r square will be 9 plus 1 plus 4. So 14. So ultimately they are asking alpha plus mod r square. Alpha is 1. Mod r square is 14. So it becomes 15, which is second option. B option is correct here. Right? Okay, let's see this question now. This is from sequence and series based on AP and AMGM. So they have given ABC are in AP, and then ABC product is A. What will be the minimum possible values of B, and numbers are positive here. So since ABC are in AP, so straight away you can write that A plus C must be 2B. A plus C must be 2B. Since product is given 8 and I have to find the minimum value of B, so let's use AMGM. I can write AM greater than or equal to GM. I have three numbers A, B, C here. So arithmetic mean will be A plus B plus C by 3. And geometric mean will be A, B, C raised to 1 by 3. And I can replace A plus C is equal to 2B here. So it is 2B plus B by 3. A plus C is replaced by 2B. ABC is given 8. So 8 raised to 1 by 3. 8 raised to 1 by 3 is 2. So ultimately you are getting B greater than or equal to 2. So hence the minimum possible value of B is 2 here. Option B, second option. See this question now. This is from matrices. So a matrix A is given, A inverse is given, alpha plus beta is given. You have to get 4 alpha square plus beta square plus lambda square. So actually you can solve this question using the characteristic equation, Cayley-Hamilton theorem, very quickly. So first this condition, A inverse is equal to alpha A plus beta I. A inverse is equal to alpha A plus beta I. If I multiply both sides by A here, so this will become I is equal to alpha A square plus beta A. Alpha A square plus beta A. And you know that every matrix satisfies its characteristic equation. So just by looking at this equation, alpha A square plus beta A, I can say that the characteristic equation of the matrix A is alpha x square plus beta x is equal to 1, or you can say minus 1. When you are replacing matrix A with variable x, so then I will be written as 1. So this is the characteristic equation of the matrix A, alpha x square plus beta x minus 1, 0. Now you know that the sum of the characteristic roots, sum of the eigenvalues is equal to trace. Is equal to trace. So trace is what? 1, trace is 11. So if I take the sum of roots of this quadratic, that will be minus beta by alpha. Sum of the roots of the quadratic is minus beta by alpha, and sum of roots should be equal to trace. So it should be 1 plus 10, which is 11. So this gives you beta is equal to minus 11 alpha. And one more condition is given, alpha plus beta is minus 2. So if I replace beta with minus 11 alpha here, so alpha minus 11 alpha minus 2. So from here I got alpha. Alpha is minus 2 over minus 10, which is 1 by 5. And beta is minus 11 by 5. Now I know alpha beta. One more thing, the product of characteristic roots, product of eigenvalues is equal to determinant. So if I take the product of roots of this quadratic, the product of roots of this quadratic is minus 1 by alpha. This is product of roots of the quadratic, minus 1 by alpha. And it must be equal to determinant of the matrix. Determinant of the matrix is 10 minus 5 lambda. Put the value of alpha here, 1 by 5. So I got minus 5 is equal to 10 minus 5 alpha. 5 lambda, sorry. So this gives you lambda is equal to 3. So now I can write 4 alpha square plus beta square plus lambda square. 4 alpha square is 4 by 25. Beta square is 121 by 25. And lambda square is 9. 4 plus 121, 125 by 25, 5 plus 9, 14. So 14 is the correct option here, which is option D, right? See this question now, this is based on definite integration. So you are given an integral here, 1 by 4 to 3 by 4, 1 by 4 to 3 by 4, sine inverse root x over x minus x squared dx. Suppose it number. If I use King's property here, King's property means I am replacing x with 1 minus x. So it is 1 by 4 to 3 by 4. Sum of limit is 1 here. Sum of limit is 1 here. So I can replace x with 1 minus x. And if you replace x with 1 minus x, the denominator actually is x minus x square, which is nothing but x into 1 minus x, the denominator. So if you replace x with 1 minus x here, it will remain as it is. The denominator will remain as it is if you replace x with 1 minus x. Now if you add these two, 1 and 2, so you will get 2y is equal to 1 by 4 to 3 by 4. Now add sine inverse root x plus sine inverse under root 1 minus x. Actually, sine inverse under root 1 minus x can be written as cos inverse root x. You can easily verify both are same thing. Sine inverse under root 1 minus x can be written as cos inverse root x. So if you convert sine inverse under root 1 minus x in terms of cos inverse, so it comes out to be cos inverse root x. So sine inverse root x plus cos inverse root x will become pi by 2. So if I add equation 1 and 2, the numerator will become pi by 2. And denominator is x into 1 minus x minus x square. I can take pi by 2 outside. Now this is 1 by 4 to 3 by 4. And this dx over x into 1 minus x, I can write it as 1 over x plus 1 over 1 minus x. So this becomes I is what? Pi by 4. Let's integrate. So log x, 1 by x integration. 1 over 1 minus x integration is minus log 1 minus x. 1 by 4 to 3 by 4. So this is pi by 4 log x over 1 minus x. 1 by 4 to 3 by 4. And now just substitute the limits, upper limit minus lower limit, and simplify. You will get your answer. So when you substitute the limit, upper limit minus lower limit, and simplify, you will get your answer, and your final answer is pi by 2 log 3 after simplification. Just simplify it. See, this next question is based on trigonometry. So a trigonometric equation is given with log, and you have to get n. So if you look at the first equation here, log sin x plus log cos x, the first equation, it can be written as log sin x cos x. And this is minus 1. Base is what? Base is 10. So if I convert log into exponent, means if I remove log here, so sin x cos x is 10 raised to minus 1. Or you can say 1 by 10. This is sin x cos x. Now let's simplify the second equation. The second equation, I have log sin x plus cos x with the base 10. And on the right side, I can write 1 can be written as log 10 with the base 10. So on the right side, I can write log n by 10 with the base 10. And half here, so half can be taken outside. Half can be taken in the power. So right side can be written like this. Log n, 1 can be written as log 10. So log n minus log 10 is log n by 10, and then half taken in the power. So now I can remove log from both sides. So if I remove log from both sides, so I will get sin x plus cos x. And on the right side, I have n by 10 raised to half. Now if I do squaring both sides, just to squaring both sides. So left hand side will become sin square x plus cos square x, which is 1. Then 2 sin x cos x. And right hand side becomes n by 10. Now it is 1 plus 2. Sin x cos x is 1 by 10, n by 10. Cross multiply, so n becomes 12 here. So n is basically equal to 12. Right? See this question, this is from limits. And you can see that when x is approaching to 2, base is approaching to 1, power is approaching to infinity. So it is 1 raised to infinity form. And since it is 1 raised to infinity form, so I can write this limit as limit x approaching to 2 fx raised to gx whenever you have fx raised to gx. And fx is approaching to 1, gx is approaching to infinity. So you can write it as e raised to fx minus 1 into gx. So I can write this integration as e raised to tan x over tan 2 minus 1 into cosecant x minus 2. Now this is what limit x approaching to 2 e raised to, let's simplify it. So you will get tan x minus tan 2 over sine x minus 2 and then 1 by tan 2. Now you can see that this quantity which I am putting in the bracket, this quantity is of the form 0 by 0. So you can use L'Hopital rule here. So just use L'Hopital rule. The derivative of tan x is secant square x. Derivative of tan 2 is 0. Derivative of sine x minus 2 is cos x minus 2. And this 1 by tan 2 is constant, keep it as it is. And here limit x is approaching to. Now when you put x is equal to 2, so it becomes e raised to secant square 2, e raised to secant square 2 by tan 2. Secant can be written as 1 by cos, sine can be written as, tan can be written as sine over cos. So ultimately it will become e raised to 1 by sine 2 cos 2. And this can be written as e raised to, just multiply numerator and denominator by 2. The numerator is 2, denominator 2 sine theta cos theta sine 2 theta. So it is 2 by sine 4. So basically it is e raised to 2 by sine 4, which is option B. Second option is the correct option here, right? Next question is, this question is based on binomial. So you have to get the coefficient of x raised to minus 5 in this binomial expansion. But you can see that it is written slightly in complicated form. So first you have to make it simple before writing the coefficient. So for that I need to simplify this expression first. To see x plus 1 over x raised to 2 by 3 minus x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1. Let's simplify this expression first. X plus 1. I'm simplifying this expression first. X plus 1, x raised to 2 by 3 minus x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1. Let's simplify this one. So you can see that if I put x raised to 1 by 3 as t here, so denominator becomes t square minus t plus 1 and numerator becomes t cube plus 1. Just put x raised to 1 by 3 as t. And non-numerator can be factorized. T cube plus 1 is same as t cube plus 1 cube. The numerator can be factorized as t plus 1, t square minus t plus 1. So ultimately it simplifies to t plus 1. And t is what? T I have taken x raised to 1 by 3. So it is x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1. This first one. Now let's simplify this second one. X minus 1 over x minus root x. See, the numerator x minus 1 can be factorized as root x plus 1 root x minus 1. And in denominator I can take root x common. So it is root x minus 1. This one cancel. So ultimately it is 1 plus 1 by root x. Or you can say it is 1 plus x raised to minus half. So that means that now this binomial expansion is what? This binomial expansion is now basically x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1, the first one. And second one is 1 plus x raised to minus half and then whole raised to 10. So ultimately this binomial expansion becomes x raised to 1 by 3 plus, not plus, it is minus actually, x raised to 1 by 3 minus x raised to minus half whole raised to 10. Now it is very simple. So ultimately this binomial expansion becomes x raised to 1 by 3 minus x raised to minus half whole raised to 10. Now I need coefficient of x raised to minus 5. So let's find the general term here, tr plus 1. The general term will be 10CR x raised to 1 by 3 whole raised to 10 minus r, and then x raised to minus half whole raised to r. This is the general term, 10CR x raised to 1 by 3 10 minus r x raised to minus half r. In fact, minus also here. Now I can write it as 10CR minus 1 raised to r x raised to 10 minus r by 3 minus r by 2. And since I need the coefficient of x raised to minus 5 here, so therefore this quantity which I'm enclosing, this quantity must be equal to minus 5. So 10 minus r by 3 minus r by 2, it must be minus 5. Let's solve it. So it is what? 20 minus 2r minus 3r is equal to minus 30. So this gives you r is equal to 20 plus 30, 50 divided by 10. So 50 divided by 5 actually. So r is 10. So to get the coefficient of x raised to minus 5, you have to put r is equal to 10 here in the general term. So what will be the coefficient? Put r is equal to 10 here. The coefficient will be 10C10 minus 1 raised to 10, which is nothing but 1. So 1 is the correct option here, which is option C. See this question, this is from determinant. So you have to get the value of this determinant. So let's do some transformation first. What I'm doing, from the third row, I'm subtracting the second row. And then from the second row, I'm subtracting the first row. First row is left as it is. So I'm not doing anything in the first row. Let's keep it as it is. Now second minus first. Second minus first, so a plus 2 taken common, so you will get 2 times a plus 2 here. You will get 1 here, you will get 0 here. Third minus second, you will get 2 times a plus 3 here. 1 here, 0 here. Now it's easy, just expand through the third column, because in the third column I have 2 zeros. So expansion will be what? Expansion will be basically very easy. Expansion will be 2 times a plus 2 minus 2 times a plus 3. So it is 2a plus 4 minus 2a minus 6. So minus 2 should be the correct answer. Very easy. Option C is the correct option here. Next question is from 3 dimension, and you are given 2 equations in element direction cosines. They are saying that the direction cosines of 2 lines are connected by these relations. So what will be the angle between these 2 lines whose direction cosines are given by these 2 equations? So you have to find the angle between 2 lines whose direction cosines are given by these 2. So let's solve these 2 equations first. So I can see that from the first equation I can write n is equal to 2l plus 2m. And if I put the value of n in the second equation, so I am getting m times n. N is 2l plus 2m. Then n 2l plus 2m into l plus lm 0. So you are getting what? You are getting 2l square here, 2l square. Then you will get here 2lm and again 2lm plus 2lm, so 5lm, and then 2m square. Now you can easily factorize it by splitting the middle term. Just split the middle term as 4lm plus lm, 4lm plus lm. So you can split the middle term as 2L square plus 4LM plus LM plus 2M square. So now you can factorize it as, here you can take 2L common, so L plus 2M, M common, so L plus 2M, so its factor will be L plus 2M and 2L plus M. So you are getting two possibilities. You are getting either L is equal to minus 2M or M is equal to minus 2L. Two possibilities. So these two possibilities will give you two sets of direction cosines one by one. So if I take the first possibility is what? L is equal to minus 2M. So if I put L is equal to minus 2M here, so N will be what? N will be 2M minus 4M. 2M minus 4M, so which is minus 2M again. So L is minus 2M, hence we can say that the direction ratios of this line are what? Minus 2M, M minus 2M. Minus 2M, M minus 2M. Or you can say the direction ratios are minus 2, 1, minus 2. In fact, this is the direction ratios of the first line, minus 2, 1, minus 2. Direction ratios, if you write direction cosines, so that will be minus 2 by root 6, 1 by root 6 and minus 2 by root 6. So direction cosines of the first line are minus 2 by root 6, 1 by root 6, minus 2 by root 6. Now let's take the second case. Second case is what? M is minus 2L. And if I put M as minus 2L here, M as minus 12 here, so N is also minus 12. So hence direction ratios of this line, second line, are L minus 2L minus 2L. So direction cosines will be what? 1 by root 6 minus 2 by root 6 minus 2 by root 6. So now I can find the angle. Let's say angle is theta. So cos theta will be what? L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. L1 L2 is what? Minus 2 by 6. M1 M2 is again minus 2 by 6. N1 N2 is 4 by 6, which is 0. That means theta is right angle. So angle between the two lines is right angle here. So the two lines connected by these two equations, means direction cosines of the two lines which are connected by these two equations are these two, and the angle between the two lines given by these two equations is perpendicular, is right angle. Let's see this question now. This is from vectors. Two vectors given A and B. C is another vector. Mod C minus A is 3. Mod A cross B cross C is also 3. Angle between A cross B is 30 degree. What will be A dot C? Right. So let's find A cross B first. Let's find A cross B first. So it is I, J, K. 2, 1, minus 2. 2, 1, minus 2. Then 1, 1, 0. 2, 1, minus 2. 1, 1, 0. Let's expand. So I'm getting what? I'm getting 0 plus 2, 2i. Then I'm getting 0 plus 2 minus 2j. 0 plus 2 to 2i. Then I got 0 plus 2 again to minus 2j and then plus k. So mod A cross B is 3 from here. Now they have given mod A cross B, mod A cross B cross C is equal to 3. I can write it as mod A cross B mod C sin theta. Theta is the angle between A cross B and C, which is 30 degree, is equal to 3. Now mod A cross B is 3, so 3 and 3 cancel. Sine 30 half, so this gives you mod C is equal to 2. One more information is given. Mod C minus A is 3. So if I do a squaring here, so I can write C square plus A square minus 2C dot A is equal to 9, just squaring both sides. C square is 4. A square you can find from here. A square is 4 plus 1 plus 4, which is 9. 2C dot A. 9 and 9 cancel. So this gives you C dot A is equal to C dot A or A dot C, both are same thing actually. So A dot C will be 2 here, which is the first option. Let's see this question now. Again, this question is based on arithmetic progression. In an AP, sum of first 3 terms is 5 and sum of first 5 terms is 8. So how many terms of this AP will be positive? So let's write sum of first 3 terms. Sum of first 3 terms will be 3 by 2, 2A plus 2D. It is 5. 2 cancel. So this gives you A plus D is equal to 5 by 3. This is sum of first 3 terms. Now if I write sum of first 5 terms, so 5 by 2, 2A plus 4D. And this sum is 8. So this gives you A plus 2D is equal to 8 by 5. A plus 2D is 8 by 5. If I solve these two equations, first and second, let's say it is first equation, it is second equation. So just subtract the first equation from second equation, so you will get D is equal to 8 by 5 minus 5 by 3. 24 minus 25 minus 1 by 15. And if I put D is equal to minus 1 by 15, so A will be 5 by 3 plus 1 by 15. So 25 plus 1, 26 by 15. This is first term. If I find the general term of this AP, nth term, so nth term will be A plus n minus 1D. A is 26 by 15 and D is minus 1 by 5, so minus n minus 1 by 5. So this becomes 26 and denominator 15. So I'm getting 26 minus 3n plus 3. Is it correct? Is 26 by 15. Let me check. Subtract the 2D will 2D minus dt, 8 by 5 minus 5 by 3 LCM 15, 24 minus 25. It is correct. A will be 5 by 3 and minus t to plus yes 15. So 25 plus 1, 26. A plus n minus 1 d, d is minus 1 by 15 and A is 26 by 15. So 26 and then minus 3n plus 3. So it is 29 minus 3n. Let me check if I'm doing some calculation error. A is minus, in fact, what I'm doing calculation. Let me check though. D is minus 1 by, oh, my bad. Actually, I'm putting wrong value of D here. D is minus 1 by 15. I'm putting minus 1 by 5. So A plus n minus 1 into D, A is right, 26 by 15 minus n minus 1 D, D is 15 actually. So this becomes 27 minus n by 15. And they are asking how many terms are positive here, number of positive terms. So this should be positive. So this gives you n less than 27. So if the term is positive, then n must be 27. So that means that there will be 26 positive terms in this AP. The number of positive terms is 26. Actually, 27th term will become 0. And after 27th term, each term will be negative. So 26 positive, 27 0, and all terms 28th onward will be negative. Let's see this question. This is from binomial. You have to get the term independent of x in this binomial expansion, means constant term of this binomial expansion. So what you will do, first try to simplify these expression. It is slightly complicated one here. So if I simplify this one, x plus 1 over x raised to 2 by 3 minus x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1. Let's simplify it first. So if you substitute x raised to 1 by 3 as t here, the numerator will become t cube plus 1 and denominator will become t square minus t plus 1. And t cube plus 1 you can factorize using a cube plus b cube formula. So ultimately it will become t plus 1 after cancellation. And t is what? X raised to 1 by 3. So it is x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1, the first one. Similarly, if I simplify the second one, the second one is x minus 1 and then x minus root x. I can factorize x minus 1 as root x plus 1 root x minus 1. And denominator is x minus root x, the root x taken common. So it is root x minus 1. Root x minus 1 cancel. So it is 1 plus 1 by root x, means x raised to minus half. So now I can say that this binomial expansion can be written as x raised to 1 by 3 plus 1, then 1 plus x raised to minus half and whole raised to 10. So basically this binomial expansion is x raised to 1 by 3 minus x raised to minus half whole raised to 10. So now this binomial expansion is very simple, in very simple form, x raised to 1 by 3 minus x raised to minus 2 half raised to 10. And since I need the term independent of x, so let's find the general term tr plus 1. Tr plus 1 is what? 10 cr x raised to 1 by 3 whole raised to 10 minus r minus x raised to half minus half whole raised to r. So it becomes 10 cr minus 1 raised to r x raised to 10 minus r by 3 minus r by 2. And since you need the term independent of x, so this power of x, this quantity must become 0. This should be 0. So ultimately it gives you what? It gives you 20 minus 2r minus 3r 0. So r will be 4. So hence the term independent of x, your answer will be what? Term independent of x you will get if you put r is equal to 4. So just put r is equal to 4, your answer will be 10c4 minus 1 raised to 4. And just calculate 10c4, you will get your answer. And it's easy to calculate 10c4. 10c4 comes out to be 210. Just simplify it, you will get your answer. See this question, this is based on differential equations. So one differential equation is given, x pi by 3 is 1 by 2 log 2. The x pi by 6 is 1 by log m minus log n. So you have to get mn. The product mn you have to find. So if I rearrange this differential equation, just try to rearrange this one. So you can write dx over dy, dx over dy. Then you are getting what? Dx by dy. Then you are getting 3 times Okay, let me rearrange first. Dx over dy is what? It is equal to 1 plus 3x log cos y into sin y over log cos y whole square, log cos y whole square into cos y. This is dx over dy. Dx over dy is basically 1 plus 3x log cos y sin y over log cos y whole square into cos y. Now if I can rearrange it as dx over dy minus 3 by log cos y, in fact sin over cos will become tan, so minus 3 tan y over log cos y into x, and on the right side I have tan y over log cos y whole square. And you can see that now it is a linear differential equation. Dx by dy plus px is equal to q. So let's get its integrating factor. Its integrating factor is e raised to minus 3 tan y over log cos y dy. E raised to minus 3 tan y over log cos y dy. Now if you substitute log cos y as t here and differentiate with respect to y, its derivative is 1 by cos y into minus sin y dy dt. So actually minus tan y dy becomes dt. Minus tan y dy becomes dt. So it is what? It is e raised to 3 by t dt. 3 can be taken outside, dt by t. Minus tan y dy becomes dt. So e raised to 3 by dt. So it is e raised to 3 log t. E raised to 3 log t. Or you can write it as t cube. T cube is what? Log cos y, t is log cos y whole cube. This is the integrating factor. So now you can write the solution. Solution will be what? On the left side x into integrating factor. And on the right side q into integrating factor. Q is what? Tan y log cos y whole square into log cos y whole cube dy. So this becomes what? This becomes x times log cos y whole cube, and on the right side you got tan y log cos y dy. Now it is x log cos y whole cube. Now you can see that again if I put log cos y as t here on the right side, so tan y dy will become minus dt. Tan y dy is minus dt, so it is what? Minus t dt. So it is x times log cos y whole cube minus t square by 2. So half log cos y square plus c. This is the final solution. X log cos y whole cube is minus half log cos y whole square. T square by 2, t is replaced with log cos y. Now they have given that x pi by 3 is 1 by 2 log 2. So if I put y is equal to pi by 3 here, so then x is 1 by 2 log 2. So it is 1 by 2 log 2. Then log cos pi by 3. Cos pi by 3 is half. So log half whole cube minus half log half whole square plus c. So this log half square is cancelled. This one and this one. Log half can be written as minus log 2. Log half can be written as minus log 2. So log 2 also cancel. Ultimately c is 0 from here. C is 0. Now if I put y is equal to pi by 6, and since c is 0, so I can write what? If I put c 0 here and simplify here, so I will get x is equal to what? C is already 0, so I will get x is equal to minus 1 over 2 log cos y. X is equal to minus 1 by 2 log cos y, because c is 0 actually. Or you can say ki x log cos y will be minus half. You can write like this also. That will be better in fact. You will get x log cos y is equal to minus half. Now if I put y is equal to pi by 6 here, y is equal to pi by 6. If y is pi by 6, so then I will get what? I will get x log cos pi by 6 root 3 by 2. This is minus half. This is minus half. So what will be x from here? X will be x will be minus 1 by, okay, so x will be minus 1 over 2 log root 3 by 2, and this is minus 1 over log 3 by 4. So ultimately it becomes 1 over log 4 minus log 3, and they have given log m minus log n. So m is 4, n is 3. M is 4, n is 3, and hence mn will be 12. The final answer is 12, m4, n3. See this question now. This question is from statistics, and they have given that mean age of 25 teachers in a school is 40 years, and a teacher retires at the age of 60 years, and a new teacher is appointed in his place. If the mean age of the teachers in this school is now 39 years, so what will be the teacher at the age of the teacher newly appointed? So see, initially the mean of 25 teachers is 40. So mean will be what? Mean will be sigma x over n. So mean is given 40. Sigma x, number of teachers is 25. So sigma x is 1000. This is initially sum of ages, sum of ages of all the 25 teachers. So now what will be the new sigma x? So out of these 1000, one teacher retired, removed at the age of 60, a new teacher joined at the age of 39. So new sum will be this. So basically it is what? 940 and 39. 940 and 39. So this is 979. So initially mean is 40, sigma x over 9. Here it is 1000. One teacher retired, so minus 60, joined 39. Oh, sorry, it's not 39. Actually, new mean is 39. My bad. It is given that new mean is 39. The new mean will be what? New mean is 39. So this is new sigma x over 25. New sigma x. So I can say that nu sigma x is 39 into 25. Original sigma x was 40 into 25. Right? Nu sigma x is 39 into 25. Original sigma x was 40 into 25. So what is the age of the new teacher? Age of the new teacher will be simply the difference of these two. In fact, from this 40 into 25, from this 40 into 25, one teacher retired 60, one teacher retired 60, and new teacher joined. Let's say the age of the new teacher, let's say the age of the new teacher is y. The one teacher retired at the age of 60, so that is subtracted. New teacher added at the age of 40. So this sum is 39 into 25. This sum is 39 into 25. So this will give you what? This will give you y is equal to 39 into 25 minus 40 into 25 plus 60. 25 taken common here. 25 taken common here. So 39 minus 40 is minus 1 plus 60. 60 minus 25 is 35. So that means the age of the new teacher is 35 years. See this question. This is from complex numbers. And they are saying that the least real value of alpha for which this equation has a solution is P. The least value of alpha for which this has a solution is P. So what will be 4P square? So let's say the solution of this equation is taken as z is equal to x plus iota y. Suppose z is equal to x plus iota y is the solution of this equation. Obviously x and y are real numbers here. Now if I put z is equal to x plus iota y in this given equation, so I will get x plus iota y plus alpha times mod z minus 1 means x plus iota y minus 1 plus 2 iota 0. So this gives you x plus alpha times under root x minus 1 whole square plus y square. This is modulus of x minus 1 plus iota y. So under root x minus 1 whole square plus y square alpha times, and then iota times y plus 2 0. Now since it is 0, the real part and imaginary part both should be 0. So this gives you x plus alpha times under root x minus 1 whole square plus y square. It should be 0. And y plus 2 is 0. So y is minus 2. Now if I put y is equal to minus 2 here, so this gives you alpha times under root x square minus 2x plus 5 is minus x. Y is what? Y is minus 2, so just put y is equal to y. If I do squaring both sides and rearrange, so this will become alpha square minus 1x square. Then it will become minus 2 alpha square x plus 5 alpha square is equal to 0. So you are getting a quadratic here. And obviously x should be real. That means the discriminant of this quadratic must be greater than or equal to 0. Discriminant of this quadratic must be greater than or equal to 0. So what will be the discriminant here? 4 alpha 4 minus 4 into 5 alpha square into alpha square minus 1. It should be greater than or equal to 0. So ultimately 4 alpha square can be taken common. So you are getting here alpha square minus 5 times alpha square minus 1 greater than or equal to 0. Alpha square minus 5 times alpha square minus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So this gives you what? This gives you minus 4 alpha square plus 5 greater than or equal to 0. So alpha square must be less than or equal to 5 by 4. So that means ki alpha lies in the interval minus root 5 by 2 to plus root 5. Hence the least value of alpha is minus root 5 by 2, means P is minus root 5 by 2. So hence 4P square will be 5 here. And one more thing you should notice here, just look at this equation carefully here. So you should see that actually if I take x as positive, then alpha must be negative. And if x negative, then alpha must be positive. So means alpha and x must be of opposite sign here. Because this is square root is positive root. So alpha and x should be of opposite sign. So if I'm taking p is equal to minus root 5 by 2, the corresponding value of x should be positive. So you can check that if I put p is equal to minus root 5 by 2, means the least value of alpha. If I put p is what? P is the value of alpha. So if I take alpha is equal to minus root 5 by 2 here, so you will get positive value of x here. Just solve this equation, put alpha is equal to minus root 5 by 2 and solve. So you will get the positive value of x, means equality holds. Let's see this question. This is from indefinite integration. So you are given an integration fx here. If I take x raised to 7 common from the denominator, so I will get 5x raised to 8 plus 7x raised to 6, x raised to 8, x raised to 7 taken common, so I will get x raised to 14 here. And here I will get x raised to minus 5, then x raised to minus 7 plus 2 whole square dx. Now I can write it as 5x raised to minus 8 minus 14 to minus 6, 7x raised to minus 8 over x raised to minus 5 plus x raised to minus 7 plus 2 whole square dx. Now what you will do, substitute this x raised to minus 5 plus x raised to minus 7 plus 2 as t. And when you differentiate it, so you will get what? You will get minus 5 times x raised to minus 6 minus 7 times x raised to minus 8 dt by dx. So hence your integration fx becomes minus dt over t square. It is dt over t square. Integrate it, so it is 1 by t. 1 by t, t is what? So it is 1 by x raised to minus 5, x raised to minus 7 plus 2, and of course plus c. Now they have given f0 as 0. f0 as 0. So if I put f0 as 0, so I'm getting 0 is equal to 1 by 2 plus c. So hence c will be what? C will be minus half. Now what is f1? So f1 is 1 by 1 plus 1 plus 2, so 1 by 4, and c is minus half. So it becomes minus half. Let me check if I'm doing some calculation error. So minus dt over t square, yes, it is 1 by t. f0 is 0. f0 is what? f0 is 1 by 2 plus c. So c is minus half. Now I'm getting f1 as 1 plus 2 to 1 by 4, c is minus half. I'm getting minus half. What mistake I'm doing? X raised to 14 t here, the minus dt. This numerator will become, I missed one thing. Minus dt, no, it's correct, I think. Yes, I've written minus. So I've written minus dt by t square. And minus 1 by t square dt 1 by t. So 1 by x raised to 5 plus x raised to minus 7 plus 2 plus c fx. f0 is 0. So 0 0, 0, 1 by 2 plus c. C is minus half. Now if I find F1, so 1, 1, 2, so I am getting negative value. I'm getting negative value. Same integration they also got. Now F0 is 0. My bad. Sorry, my bad. I'm putting here x is equal to 0. Actually 0 raised to minus 5 will not be defined. So let me convert it first. My fault. So it will be what? It will be 1 by x raised to minus 5 is 1 by x raised to 5. X raised to minus 7 is 1 by x raised to 7 plus 2 plus c. So fx will be what? X raised to 7 goes up. And here you will get what? Here you will get 2x raised to 7 plus x square plus 1 plus c. And since f0 is 0, so this gives you c is equal to 0. Now if I find f1, so f1 is 1 by 4, which is given as 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is 1 by k. So hence k must be 4 here. So k is actually 4, right? Let's see this question. This is based on rectangular hyperbola and very difficult type of question, difficult and lengthy. So they are saying that k square ABCD has all its vertices on this curve. And the midpoints of the sides of the square is also lying on the same curve, on this curve only. So what will be the area of the square of, square of the area of ABCD? Means first you have to find the area of ABCD and then find the square of the area. So actually this curve gives you two hyperbolas, xy is equal to plus minus 1. So this gives you two hyperbolas, x is equal to 1 and xy is equal to 1 and xy is equal to minus 1. Actually, if you draw the graph, here, so xy is equal to 1 will be look like this, one branch here, one branch here. This is xy is equal to 1. And xy is equal to minus 1, one branch here in the second quadrant, one branch here in the fourth quadrant. Now you are taking a square and the sides of the square are on these branches. And the midpoints of the sides are also on these branches. So what will be the square of the area of ABCD? So let me show you the figure first, then I will do the calculation there only. So let me show you the figure first. Figure will be something like this. So let's say this is your square A, B, C, D. Just look at the figure. Ignore each and everything. Just look at the figure. This curve is xy is equal to 1. So let's say the vertex A has x coordinate t1. If x coordinate is t1, so obviously y coordinate is 1 by t1. So I have taken a point as t1 comma 1 by t1 and A in the first quadrant. So t1 is positive. T1 is positive. Now this curve is xy is equal to minus 1. So let's say the other vertex B, other vertex of the square B is x coordinate of the other vertex B is, let's say, t2. This is t2. So if I take x coordinate as t2 here, the y coordinate will be minus 1 by t2 and B in the fourth quadrant, so t2 is also positive. So A is t1 comma 1 by t1, B is t2 comma 1 by t2. So now if I find the midpoint of this side AB, so midpoint of will be what? T1 plus T2 by 2 and then 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2 by 2. This is the midpoint. And the midpoint is also lying on xy is equal to 1. They have given the midpoint of the sides also lies on the curve. So xy is equal to 1. So this P must satisfy xy is equal to 1. So if I put this P point in xy is equal to 1, so I will get T1 plus T2 by 2 then 1 by T1, 1 by T1, just a minute. So I'm putting P point in xy is equal to 1, so T1 plus T2 by 2, then 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2 by 2. It should be what? It should be 1. If I simplify it, so I'm getting T2 square minus T1 square is 4T1 T2. Suppose it number 1. T2 square minus T1 square is 4T1 T2. Now just by symmetry I can say that, let's say square is ABCD. So center of the square will be at origin only. Origin is the center of the hyperbola. So center of the square is origin here. So this, if I join, let's say this vertex OA and OB. So obviously this angle should also, center of the square means this is origin is basically the point of intersection of the diagonals. Actually this AC diagonal will pass through the origin just by symmetry, and this BD diagonal also pass through the origin. So actually origin is the point of intersection of diagonals here. So of course we can say that this angle is right angle here. Diagonals of a square are always perpendicular. So you can say that if I find slope of OA into slope of OB, so this should be minus 1. Now what is OA slope? Just check this OA slope. OA slope is 1 by T1 square. And OB slope is minus 1 by T2 square. This product should be minus 1. So this gives you T1 T2 is equal to 1. Actually T1 square T2 square is equal to 1. So T1 T2 1 because I've taken T1 and T2 positive. So that's why I'm taking positive value. Now T1 T2 is 1. So I can find T2 square plus T1 square now. T2 square plus T1 square can be written as under root T2 square minus T1 square whole square plus 4 T2 square T1 square. It can be written like this. T2 square plus T1 square is under root T2 square minus T1 square whole square plus 4 T2 square T1 square. Now T2 square minus T1 square, you can see here T2 square minus, since T1 T2 is 1, since T1 T2, this T1 T2 is 1. So T2 square minus T1 square is 4 only. So this will become under root 4 square 16. T1 T2 is 1 plus 4. So it is 2 root 5. So now I got what? I got T2 square minus T1 square is equal to 4, and T2 square plus T1 square is equal to 2 root 5. I got these two equations. By solving these two, I can get T1 square, T2 square. Just subtract the first equation from the second equation. So you will get 2 T1 square, 2 root 5 minus 4. So T1 square is what? Root 5 minus 2. So this is T1 square. Now if I find area of the quadrilateral ABCD, area of a square. So area of a square can also be written as half D square, half diagonal square. So it can be written as half AC square. Area of a square is half diagonal square. And it is half diagonal AC can be written as 2 times OA. So it can be 2 times OA whole square. Diagonal AC can be written as 2 times OA. So it is basically what? It is 2 times OA square. And let's find OA square just by using distance formula. Let's find this OA distance. Actually, this point is plus here, not minus. But ignore these things. No need of use. So just find OA square. OA square will be what? OA square will be T1 square plus 1 by T1 square. So this is 2 times T1 square is what? Root 5 minus 2. And 1 by T1 square will be root 5 plus 2. Just take the reciprocal. So 1 by T1 square will be 1 by root 5 minus 2. Rationalize it is root 5 by 2. It is It is 4 root 5 now. This is area of the square. But what they are asking square of the area. Square of the area. So that will be 4 root 5 whole square, which is equal to 80 here. So your final answer will be 80. Clear? Chalo. See you guys. See you next time. Bye bye. Take care. Bye everyone. God bless you all.